Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he can get paid to clean off the gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So they paid him $5 every time he cleaned gum. And then the principal found out about this and asked him if he could also clean the gum from underneath the lunchroom tables. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle. But then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one here is only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces. And he sold each piece for 50 cents. But he was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them to put the gum underneath desks or the lunchroom tables when they're done. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. Interesting facts about lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming is when you are in a dream and you know that you're in a dream. You can control it and do whatever you want, like literally. I taught myself how to do it when I was younger and it is awesome. Did you know that time moves slower when you were in a dream? One person apparently lived a lifetime in a lucid dream. She said it felt like she was in there for 100 years. And she wasn't stuck, she said. She said it was epic, but it only actually happened over the course of a night. When you lucid dream, you can create a world, cities, houses, and even people that you can revisit every time you're back in that dream. It's like you have 2 lives, your waking life and your dream life. Dream characters are people that your subconscious puts in your dream. So say you're 100% lucid, you know you're dreaming, and you walk around a city. If you ask a question to somebody walking around, their answer is actually your subconscious talking to you. Have you ever had a lucid dream? Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 4. Yes, the basketball game. It's a fan favorite and people love to play it. I always knew that there was something up with this game, but then when I saw it for myself, I was kind of shocked. So, yes, the rims are oval-shaped, which makes it really harder to get that swish. Also positioned higher than regulation, and the balls are overinflated, which make them extra bouncy. When I used to work there, I always had a ball on me that I would just toss around and have fun with. It was different than the balls that people played with. Mine was normal, theirs were extra inflated. Quick tip for you, if you want to win this game, ask the game worker to use their ball. 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes, and then try to swish it. This is the most terrifying bathroom of all time. This bathroom is located at a bar in Japan, and this face sits right in front of the toilet. Well, the toilet seat has pressure sensors, so whenever somebody sits down, this face moves slowly closer to you while singing a drunken tune, until it eventually kisses your kneecaps. Watch the video. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 4. Yes, the basketball game. It's a fan favorite and people love to play it. I always knew that there was something up with this game, but then when I saw it for myself, I was kind of shocked. So, yes, the rims are oval-shaped, which makes it really harder to get that swish. Also positioned higher than regulation, and the balls are overinflated, which make them extra bouncy. When I used to work there, I always had a ball on me that I would just toss around and have fun with. It was different than the balls that people played with. Mine was normal, theirs were extra inflated. Quick tip for you, if you want to win this game, ask the game worker to use their ball. 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes, and then try to swish it. Exposing carnival games, part 5. Shoot the water gun into the clown's mouth to pop the balloon. Most places adjust the sights so they're a tiny bit off, and the balloons are usually used, making them harder to pop. If you play this one, aim high and pick one with a new balloon. Pops easier. Throw the baseball in the milk jug. Where I worked, they took a hammer and bent the top, making it as hard as possible. And when some very talented kid got it in, I gave them a big prize and they fired me. Follow for more secrets. The dumbest rules parents had their kids follow. When this girl was in high school, her parents had this very strict rule. Alright, love you guys, I'm going to my friend's house. Okay, don't forget the rules. I won't. The rule was this. She had a curfew every night, and for every minute she was late after curfew, she would be grounded for a week. So if she was 2 minutes late coming home, she would be grounded for 2 weeks. Well, one day she was stuck behind a train. Come on, come on, come on. It was one of those long trains. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it was passing for 10 minutes, causing her to be 10 minutes late, Marissa. Do you know what that means? You were 10 minutes. Honey, please, I got this. No. 10 minutes late is what? 10 weeks. Excuse me? 10 weeks. 10 weeks, very good. You're grounded for 10 weeks, now get to your room. Oh, God, I hate them so much. Stupid rule. What the heck? What's a pineapple doing in here? Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in high school, he ran a whole server network and put it on a USB drive. And whenever you plugged the USB into a school computer, it auto-deleted all the school blocks. So you can go to any website you want. The USB also auto-downloaded Minecraft and Roblox to the computers. He was making bank, big bank, until he was expelled. Another kid at his school wanted to keep this going, so he made about 800 copies of the USBs. But the original kid shut down the server, so he asked him if he could buy the server from him, and he said sure. This guy continued the business going, selling the USBs for $50 each, and he included some software updates. Nice. Interesting facts about lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming is when you are in a dream and you know that you're in a dream. You can control it and do whatever you want, like literally. I taught myself how to do it when I was younger, and it is awesome. Did you know that time moves slower when you were in a dream? One person apparently lived a lifetime in a lucid dream. She said it felt like she was in there for 100 years. And she wasn't stuck, she said. She said it was epic, but it only actually happened over the course of a night. When you lucid dream, you can create a world, cities, houses, and even people that you can revisit every time you're back in that dream. It's like you have two lives, your waking life and your dream life. Dream characters are people that your subconscious puts in your dream. So say you're 100% lucid, you know you're dreaming, and you walk around a city. If you ask a question to somebody walking around, their answer is actually your subconscious talking to you. Have you ever had a lucid dream? Exposing carnival games, part 18. Here's some more tips for you. For ladder climb, don't climb up using the prongs in the middle. Go up only using the ropes on the side. That should make it 10 times easier for you. Basketball. When I worked at a carnival, my boss would overinflate the balls to make them more bouncy. One time a kid brought his own basketball. Same kind, but not overinflated. I had to let him use it, and he won. Follow for more secrets. Proof that carnivals really only want your money. I've been giving you tips and tricks to win all the carnival games, because I used to work at one, and they're mostly rigged. Well, every so often, someone comes and plays and just wins every game. They've done their research, they've practiced, they've studied, and they know how to beat the system. Where I used to work, we had a list of people and pictures from the security cameras that are not allowed to play any games. They're banned because they knew they couldn't trick these people. So they want you to lose. That's the whole point. Still, I don't care. Go win all the prizes. Follow for more secrets. If you're ever at a party or you're just super bored with your friends, play this game. It's called Exposed. You download it and then open the app. And then you can join a game or create a game. When you create a game, it gives you a pin that your friends use to play the game with you. And then you put your name and your picture up there. This app is nuts, and don't play it if you're not ready for some drama. They ask you tons of questions like these. And then all your friends who are playing have to vote. And everyone sees who voted for who. There's even levels, and some of them definitely get a little inappropriate. But hey, this will definitely spice up a hangout. Link is in my bio. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 27. Another follower submission. Where he went to school, they had this thing called food dudes. Students were given 2 bags of fruits and vegetables just like these. And if they ate both bags and brought the teachers the empty bags, they would get a prize. Well, nobody wanted to do it. So one kid was like, hey, I'll eat the fruits and vegetables for you and give you the empty bags back for just $1 a bag. So kids would do it. They would give him the fruits and vegetables, he would eat it, he would give them the bags, and then they would get the prizes. This kid made about $30 a day. Well, a couple months later, some teachers noticed a terrible smell coming from the library. Turns out this kid was not eating the fruits and vegetables. He was putting them in a cardboard box and hiding them somewhere in the library. And apparently it smelled like death. Harmless but hilarious ways you can mess with people. The next time you see somebody sitting alone at a park bench, sit right next to them and slide them an envelope with a random person's picture inside of it. Have them open it and then say, "Get it done by Friday," and make sure it looks like an accident. The Krabby Patty secret formula is whale. Hear me out. When a whale dies, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean floor, where it can sustain an entire ecosystem for years. Mr. Krabs is a crab, and crabs are scavengers. So he stumbled upon this dead whale, and he realized it would be an excellent business opportunity. But near the carcass, he found Pearl. He might have felt guilty for using her dead mom's meat, so he adopted her. Or maybe his intentions were darker, much darker. Maybe he knew he would eventually run out of whale meat, and so he's raising Pearl. So when she's big enough, she will replace her mom as a secret formula. And he keeps it a secret, because if she finds out, it's bye-bye Krusty Krab. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. The games are frickin' rigged. And I don't mean they just make them hard to win. I mean some of them are impossible to win. Where I used to work, we had a game just like this one, where we were showing a bunch of big prizes you could possibly win, but the game was unwinnable. At my old job, we would get fired if we gave away a big prize. Sometimes the carnival game workers will show you how to play before you spend your money, but the tools they use to play the game are not the same ones you use when you play. They're trying to make it look easy, but in reality, you're about to waste your money. Some carnivals actually hire people to walk around carrying a big prize. It's advertisement. People see it and they want to win one, so they head over to the games and spend their money. This school prank lasted for 2 years. It all began at this high school when a single rubber duck appeared in the school's water fountain. And nobody thought much of it. It was just a random duck. Who cares? Until the next day, 2 ducks, then 4, then 10. By the end of that week, there was rubber ducks appearing in every sink, every toilet, and even in students' lockers. Teachers were losing their minds. The principal, she was done. She kept saying on the intercom, "Whoever's responsible for the ducks, speak up now, please." Silence. Nobody confessed. So they gave up. They figured it would eventually sizzle out. But here's the thing, it never stopped. For 2 years, rubber ducks would randomly appear in the craziest of places. Ceiling tiles, inside the vending machines, somehow. One duck even appeared in the vice principal's car. It became a legend till this senior year. It was graduation. The principal was giving her speech when suddenly a banner dropped down. What was on the banner? A single rubber duck. This kid walked to the front of the stage and said, "It was me. It was always me." Boo from Monsters, Inc. is Violet from The Incredibles. Hear me out. There are a few things that support this theory. Number 1, we know that Violet has invisibility powers, and as a kid, she was probably unable to fully control them or understand them, which would make sense, because when her and Sully were playing hide and seek, she was very good at it. She would pop up in different places. Number 2, monsters are paired up with their best fit, and Boo's monster is Randall. Wouldn't that make sense? Randall has invisibility or camouflage powers, and he was matched up with Boo, who is Violet, and she has invisibility powers. Interesting. And lastly, Boo is drawn to Sully. And I think I know why. He's big and burly. Maybe Boo was drawn to him because he reminds her of her dad. I can see it. Black markets kids ran in their schools. At this kid's school, there was a girl that would carry around a box of stationery every day. Her business was that she would write forged letters from parents. She had all different papers, pens, and pencils of every kind. And if kids wanted to leave school early, they would go to her, and she would write a note from their parents. Well, these notes were incredibly convincing. She used different styles of handwriting, different styles of punctuation. She could even write notes in different languages. She made absolute bank. The teachers never caught on, but this kid grew up incredibly educated, and today she's incredibly successful. Awesome ways kids cheated on a test. In high school, this kid was in band. Well, he had a test later in the day that he didn't study for at all. Well, he managed to get a copy of that test from another student who had that same class earlier in the day, so he got a copy of that test. That test was entirely multiple choice. During band class, he Googled all of the answers, and on a piece of empty sheet music, he wrote those answers as notes. A, B, C, and D. When he got to the class where he was having that test, the teacher passed it out and asked everyone to clear off their desks. So he set his sheet music on the ground, facing up, and all he had to do was glance down and look at the notes on the sheet and fill in the answers based on what note it was. That is absolutely genius. What my old carnival job taught me about carnivals, part 3. Don't get me frickin' started on the pick a duck game. Y'all know this, right? You pick up a duck, you flip it over, and it'll tell you if you want a small, medium, or large prize. Well, where I worked, every single one of the ducks was a small prize duck. We didn't put any large prize ducks in there, but they would give us a large prize duck to put in our pocket, just in case someone asked us, "Do you guys even have any large prize ducks in here?" Then we'd be all sneaky. As we're flipping them over, we'd toss the duck in there, and be like, "Yeah, see, there's one right here." Shady stuff. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. This kid went to a military high school and Wi-Fi wasn't allowed in the dorms. The only place on campus that had Wi-Fi was the student center. So this guy got a brilliant idea. He bought a Wi-Fi repeater and set it up next to his window. That's when he realized he got just enough signal from the student center to boost it to his entire dorm. And this is how his business started. He charged people $10 a week to keep the password. He even kept an Excel sheet with everyone's device on there and if they paid or not. Payment was due every Thursday because that was the day they would get their allowance from their parents. And if they didn't pay by Friday, he would blacklist their devices and any other unknown ones that popped up on there. At one point, he was making $200 a week, and he was never caught. Most dangerous toys of all time, part 12. These are snap bracelets. They were a very popular trend in the 90s. So popular, in fact, that a bunch of companies started selling knockoff versions of these. But the knockoff versions were banned because they were made so cheap they would slice right into a person's wrist. A technique to control your dreams. This one can be scary, and I don't recommend it. It's called the wake-induced lucid dream. It's basically where you let your body fall asleep, but you keep your mind awake. Here's how it's done. Set an alarm for 4 to 6 hours after you fall asleep. Get up and walk around for about 5 minutes. Then go back to bed and lay absolutely still, as if your body is melting in the mattress. And then with your eyes closed, imagine a balloon inflating and deflating with each breath. Clear your mind and don't move a muscle. Here's where it gets scary. You'll start to experience hypnagogic hallucinations, which is basically dream fragments entering your reality. None of it is real, and you won't be able to move. This is similar to sleep paralysis, but just know that it's not real. When the hallucinations become more clear and more vivid, you might feel your body being pulled towards the images. Let it happen. You are literally being sucked into the dream. And once you're there, rub your palms together. The world around you will become very clear, and you'll be lucid dreaming. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When he was a freshman in high school, he noticed you could buy 1 6-pack of Kool-Aid Bursts for just $1 at Walmart. So he had an idea. He was gonna buy a bunch of 6-packs, freeze them overnight, and bring them to school. He would then sell them for $1 a bottle. So he would buy 1 6-pack for $1, sell all 6, and make $5 profit. Business was booming. Before long, he was bringing in 36 6-packs of Kool-Aid Bursts every day, and he was selling out. During his freshman year, he made about $5,000. Until one day during lunch, he was doing his business. It was busy. Everyone was thirsty and they wanted Kool-Aid. Well, he ran out and went back to the football locker room to pick up more. Somebody followed him, and they found out exactly what he was doing. When they got back to the lunchroom, he was busted. They had all of his inventory and money stacked on a table like it was a scene from Narcos. He was then escorted by school staff to the principal's office. As he was walking out, however, students booed and screamed and caused a riot because they wanted their freaking Kool-Aid, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was then suspended. To this day, people call him Juice. He is now an entrepreneur and owns a few small businesses. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 10. This is the Power Wheels Barbie Camper. It's battery operated, and kids can get in and drive it around. However, last year, they recalled 44,000 of these, and the reason is kind of scary. Kids would be driving around, having fun, but when they took their foot off the gas, the car would keep going, almost as if it was driving itself. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 29. This is Flubber. It was a gooey slime popular in the 1960s, but they recalled it and stopped making it because there were thousands of reports of kids getting severe rashes and sore throats caused by Flubber. It is said that today, all the leftover Flubber is buried behind a warehouse because it won't burn and they can't drop it in the ocean. The dumbest school rules ever. This one elementary school had a rule where a student, if they were feeling sick, would not be able to go home or call their parents unless they had a fever or puked. Well, one day, this kid's stomach was super messed up. He wasn't feeling good at all. Miss, can I go to the nurse's office, please? Ow. So he goes to the nurse's office. So it's a stomach ache, huh? Yeah, it hurts so bad. Well, you don't have a fever and you didn't throw up, and you can't stay here. I have to send you back to class. I'm sorry. Are you serious? Yeah, you know the rules. Well, this made him super mad because his stomach was actually hurting pretty bad. So he stared at her, and with incredible focus and pure dedication, he somehow managed to get himself to throw up right on the nurse. Can I go home now? The school changed that rule shortly after that. Yet another one. This middle school wouldn't let their students talk at all during lunch. Apparently, this is a very common rule. But at one middle school, there was a group of friends that wanted to beat the system. So over the course of a few months, they all individually learned sign language. They became fluent, and they started talking to each other during lunch with sign language only. Oh my God, what are they doing? Dear God, did they all learn sign language? Can they do that? Are they allowed to do that? I'll get the principal. And they couldn't do anything about it because sign language technically isn't talking. When this kid was in 4th grade, his glasses broke. Oh man. But it didn't really matter because in most of his classes he sat in the front row, so he could still see. Well, after a few days of going to class without his glasses, one of his teachers said, "Kyle, I see you still don't have your glasses. Are they still broken?" "Yeah, but it's fine. I can still see the board." The thing with this teacher though was that she would always write assignments on the board for students to work on during class. She would never explain the assignments. Students would just read the board and then do their work. But anyway, she said, "Kyle, it's been 4 days now. Your parents should have gotten you new glasses at this point. You're sitting in the back of the class." Okay. Alright, so this is what needs to be done before the end of class, okay? Get to work. Oh, I can't see it. What the heck? Sit down, Kyle. Hey, Stacy, can you tell me what the board says? Yeah, it says, Stacy, don't you dare tell him what it says. I'm teaching him a frickin' lesson. I hate my life. This school is super sus. This one high school had this weird thing, where in every single bathroom, the toilet paper rolls weren't inside the stalls. They were outside on the wall. So anybody that had to go into a stall had to take enough toilet paper before they got in there. But if you didn't grab enough, or you forgot, you were screwed. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot to grab toilet paper. Hello? Hello, is anyone in here? Oh god. One high school, there was a science teacher who was a bit older. He was a pretty nice guy, but he sweat all the time. Alright, and that is evolution. Is it hot in here or is it just me? I'm sweating up a storm. Well, he would do this super weird, gross thing every single day. He had this plant on his desk, and towards the end of class, every single day, he would take off his shirt in front of everybody and wring out his sweaty shirt into the plant. Sir, what are you doing? Plants need water, Kyle. What do you think I'm doing? He was eventually fired because taking your shirt off in class is frowned upon. Makes sense. Who shared this story said that 7 years after he graduated high school, he got a phone call. What is this? Hello? It was his old high school senior English teacher. And this is what she told him.
Hi, Carl. Yeah, this is Mrs. Stevens from the high school you went to.
Oh, hi. What is going on?
Hi, I'm calling because I just found out that 7 years ago, I accidentally miscalculated your final grade. You were supposed to get an F. And that means you weren't supposed to graduate high school, so we're letting you know that we're taking away your diploma, okay?
What?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to come back and finish one more class if you want your diploma, okay? Alright, bye-bye.
What? The funny part is, this dude already had his bachelor's degree, and he was working at a very high-paying company. This has to be the most petty school in the world. To call someone 7 years after they graduated to say that they actually failed the final? That's crazy. Get out of here. Craziest teachers ever. At one middle school, there was a teacher that had a samurai sword, and he kept it in his trunk. Well, every time there was a fire drill, his students would line up right by where his car was parked. And every time there was a fire drill, he would show kids his samurai sword. Alright, next. Whoa, that's amazing. Can I hold it? Oh, you want to hold it? Yeah, sure. I'm kidding. Next. Students loved him. The samurai sword was pretty cool too, but the school found out about this and he was fired immediately. But the response from students was overwhelming. A group of students made thousands of posters of that teacher photoshopped to look like a samurai, and they wrote, "Free my samurai homie," and placed it all around the school. Well, despite their best efforts, that teacher did not get his job back. Worst teachers of all time. At one high school, there was a student that would sometimes fall asleep during class. Well, one day this teacher had enough. She wanted to embarrass him and teach him a lesson. Kyle, wake up. What? I have had enough with you sleeping in my class. Come to the front of the classroom and explain to everyone why you're always sleeping. Miss, please, I'm sorry. Now. He gets up out of his desk and walks to the front of the classroom. When he began talking, he starts to cry a little bit. This is what he said. I hate you for making me do this. You want to know why I've been sleeping? Because my family's been having a really hard time, okay? I had to pick up 2 jobs to help them pay the bills. We almost lost our house last year. I'm just trying to help my family. Screw you. Her plan backfired, and from that day on, she became the most hated teacher at that school.
Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 8. These are Aqua Dots. It's a toy where you arrange beads, spray them with water, and the design fuses together. Well, these things were so dangerous that in 2007, they had to recall 4 million kits. Apparently, the coating on the beads releases a compound called GHB, which is basically a drug that knocks you out. Back in 2007, 3 kids swallowed the beads, and they all went into comas.
Dumbest reasons people got fired. This guy worked at a car dealership, and one day, the owner asks, "Hey Jeff, I'm heading home. Can you please wash the red truck before you leave tonight?" "Yeah, for sure, I'll take care of it." Well, at the end of his shift, he goes out into the car lot, and he can't find a red truck anywhere. What the heck, where's the truck? He then goes home. The next day, when he got to work, his boss was super mad. "I specifically asked you to wash the red truck last night, and you didn't. There's no red truck in the lot." "Don't give me that. You are careless and lazy." "Lazy? I do everything for you." "Nah, man, you're fired. You are fired, okay? Take your stuff, go home. I'm done with you." What? Turns out the employee was right. There wasn't a red truck in the parking lot. His boss was colorblind, and what happened was the truck was actually green, but because he was colorblind, he thought it was red. That's just dumb.
Exposing carnival games, part 1. I used to work at one, and you all know this game. You throw the ball, you knock down the milk jugs. Well, they fill those jugs with lead, and they each weigh 10 pounds, and the ball is super light. And the balloon game, those balloons aren't even inflated all the way, and the darts are very dull. It's almost impossible to win. Follow for more secrets.
When this kid was in middle school, he would make these things all the time. They were called paper wasps. These folded pieces of paper you put in a rubber band and you shoot them at people. Well, this kid would occasionally sneak up on his friends and attack them with his paper wasps. And yes, they hurt very bad. But nobody ever got back at him because for some reason, his paper wasps were far superior than anybody else's. So this kid got an idea. He started making tons and tons of paper wasps. His secret in making his paper wasps was using the right amount of paper. And after it was done and folded, he would staple the tip. The staple was used solely to increase pain on impact. Well, business was absolutely booming. The kid was pretty much an arms dealer at his school. Eventually, because of his business, full-blown battles were happening throughout the school day every single day. He was eventually shut down, but in total, he made over $400.
Senior Prank Stories Part 2. In 1985, the senior class at this high school bought 10,000 business cards, and all the cards said was Class of 1985. Well, over the course of a few weeks, the senior class hid these cards everywhere. Behind bookshelves, in books, behind paintings and pictures. They even put them in the ceiling tiles. Literally everywhere. And this was definitely a long-term prank, because to this day, those business cards are still being found at that high school. Legendary. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, Part 5. This one happened at a high school. One student before school every day for 2.5 years would go to Chick-fil-A and pick up chicken biscuits. He started by picking up 20 a day, but they would always sell out. Then he upped it to 50 a day and still sell out. Eventually he was picking up 100 chicken biscuits a day and selling out every time. Other students would get to school super early just to buy these. And over those 2.5 years of him doing this, he made about $30,000. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When he was in 8th grade, everybody was obsessed with shooting these. Some people call them hornets. Well, at his school, these hornet wars were getting out of hand. Everybody all over the school was using rubber bands to shoot folded pieces of paper at each other. They would get these rubber bands from the science teacher. Well, eventually the principal was like, this has to stop. The science teacher was then no longer allowed to give students rubber bands, so they were locked up. Well, our dude had an idea. He went to the store and bought a bag of 150 rubber bands for $5. Went to school and sold them for $1 each. Business was booming. He was making tons of money until one day, at the school talent show, a bunch of kids started firing hornets at the student performing on the stage. The school staff was so mad, so they went on the cameras to see if they could find out who did it. That's when they noticed a bunch of students following our dude to his locker. They thought he was selling drugs, so the next day at school they brought in a police officer and a drug-sniffing dog. They found bags of rubber bands and stacks of money. He was then suspended for 3 days.
Ways grocery stores trick you into buying things, part 1. Have you ever been shopping in the produce aisle and you see the water misting down on the vegetables? It's not to keep them fresh. In fact, wet produce rots faster. It's to make the vegetables look like they were freshly picked and therefore more appetizing, so you want to buy them. They also put the milk and the meats right by the junk food aisles. So you have to pass the stuff that you want to get to the stuff that you need, which makes you more likely to buy the junk food. Follow for part 2. Exposing arcade games, part 9. So I've told you in previous videos the best way to win the stacker game. But now I'm going to show you a hack to do once you've won it. So after you've won a minor prize or a major prize and you're about to select the prize you want, go to the prize and then press select and continue at the same time and then hold continue down. You will get every single prize in that row. Now this works about 30% of the time, but it's worth a shot. I've seen it happen at my old job. Let me know. Follow for more secrets.
Craziest things found in food, part 6. A Florida man was grilling outside with his family when he decided to crack open an ice-cold Pepsi to quench his thirst. After the first sip, he knew something was off. He said it was the grossest thing he's ever tasted, so he dumped out the Pepsi, and he saw this green goo come out, followed by a large blob. It looked like a dead animal that had dissolved in the Pepsi. Unsure of what to do, he sent it over to the FDA. The FDA did tests. Turns out, it was a dead frog.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in middle school, he would make these things all the time. They were called paper wasps. These folded pieces of paper you put in a rubber band and you shoot them at people. Well, this kid would occasionally sneak up on his friends and attack them with his paper wasps. And yes, they hurt very bad. But nobody ever got back at him because for some reason, his paper wasps were far superior than anybody else's. So this kid got an idea. He started making tons and tons of paper wasps. His secret in making his paper wasps was using the right amount of paper. And after it was done and folded, he would staple the tip. The staple was used solely to increase pain on impact. Well, business was absolutely booming. The kid was pretty much an arms dealer at his school. Eventually, because of his business, full-blown battles were happening throughout the school day every single day. He was eventually shut down, but in total, he made over $400.
Exposing carnival games, part 11. I'm going to give you a tip to help you win the hard or the rigged games at a carnival. Most carnies usually show you how it's done before you play, but they use their own equipment. And it's different from the ones that they let you use. It was the same way where I worked. So what you do is you ask the carny before you play, hey, can I use the ball that you just used, or can I use the rings that you're using? Because those make the games a lot easier. And most times they'll say yes. Follow for more secrets.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals, part 4. Yes, the basketball game. It's a fan favorite and people love to play it. I always knew that there was something up with this game, but then when I saw it for myself, I was kind of shocked. So, yes, the rims are oval shaped, which makes it really harder to get that swish. Also positioned higher than regulation, and the balls are overinflated, which make them extra bouncy. When I used to work there, I always had a ball on me that I would just toss around and have fun with. It was different than the balls that people played with. Mine was normal, theirs were extra inflated. Quick tip for you, if you want to win this game, ask the game worker to use their ball. 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes, and then try to swish it.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in middle school, he started his own lottery. He sold jars of Play-Doh for $3 each, and each Play-Doh was stuffed with money. It was either a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill, or a $50 bill. The jackpot. Business was very slow at first. He only made a few sales because nobody ever won big. Because what they didn't know was he only stuffed $1 bills in there, and the occasional 5 and 10, but never the 50. So he had an idea to get the word out. He put $50 of his own money into a Play-Doh jar, and then gave it to his friend and paid him to open up the Play-Doh jar in front of a crowd of people. And he did. And everybody was hyped. They thought it was legit. And now everybody was playing this guy's lottery. He made around $500, but the principal quickly found out and shut him down. When this kid was in 4th grade, his glasses broke. Oh man. But it didn't really matter, because in most of his classes he sat in the front row, so he could still see. Well, after a few days of going to class without his glasses, one of his teachers said, "Kyle, I see you still don't have your glasses. Are they still broken?" "Yeah, but it's fine, I can still see the board." The thing with this teacher, though, was that she would always write assignments on the board for students to work on during class. She would never explain the assignments. Students would just read the board and then do their work. But anyway, she said, "Kyle, it's been 4 days now. Your parents should have gotten you new glasses at this point. You're sitting in the back of the class." Okay. Alright, so this is what needs to be done before the end of class, okay? Get to work. Oh, I can't see it. What the heck? Sit down, Kyle. Hey, Stacy, can you tell me what the board says? Yeah, it says, Stacy, don't you dare tell him what it says. I'm teaching him a frickin' lesson. I hate my life.
Most dangerous toys of all time, part 34. These are moon shoes. They were basically mini trampolines strapped to your feet. They were very popular in the 90s. You would strap your feet to these and you would jump, and it was supposed to make it feel like you were jumping on the moon. Well, these were pretty dangerous, and they sent a lot of kids to the hospital, because one wrong jump and you could break your ankle right in half.
Genius ways people cheated on a test. This dude said that when he was in high school, one of his buddies stole the final exam out of the teacher's desk when she wasn't looking. That day, they took the test home and used the textbook to fill all of the answers in. Since the test was multiple choice, this kid decided to make coded keychains with colored beads on it. The test was 50 questions long, so the keychain had 50 beads on it. A red bead was A, a blue bead was B, yellow was C, and green was D. It would start with the first bead on the top as question 1 and go down from there. He then attached that keychain to his car keys and just left his keys on top of his desk as he took the test. The best part was the teacher complimented that keychain as she was passing the test out. He said, "Thanks, my little sister made it." She thought that was so sweet, but the truth is that kid did not have a little sister. Genius. This high school made a huge mistake. All of the boys' bathrooms at this one high school were shut down by the school because somebody was stealing toilet paper. So they closed down the bathrooms until the person who was stealing toilet paper turned themselves in. Well, that's not fair to the other students. For about a week, the boys' bathrooms were closed, and the boys were getting very upset by it. How can they lock the bathrooms? That's super unfair to us. What if I had to poop? I have to poop right now. Me too, I can't take this anymore. I've been holding it in every single day. It can't be good for me. Boys, I have an idea. Everyone here holding your poops. After lunch, at exactly 1:15 p.m., stand on your desks and take a dump right there. If we all do it, we can't get in trouble. Spread the word. The second the clock hit 1:15, this is what happened. A total of 25 dudes pooped on their desks in the middle of class. The teachers were horrified. They tried to get them in trouble, but they could do nothing about it because the bathrooms were locked down. The school actually got into huge trouble for denying people bathroom privileges, and the poop incident went down in history. Terrible things people did as kids. When this guy was in middle school, he had an obsession with fire. Well, one day he was home alone, so he grabbed some cardboard boxes and trash and went outside to the family's fire pit. Keep in mind, it was a pretty deep fire pit. He threw all the stuff in there, grabbed lighter fluid from his dad's grill, doused the garbage, and lit it on fire. And up the flames went. Completely satisfied, he sat back and watched the fire blaze, until suddenly, a strange-looking fireball jumped out of the fire pit and started running towards the woods. Turns out there was a raccoon in the fire pit, and when it caught on fire, it tried to make the grand escape. Well, when it got to the woods, it ended up burning a few trees down. But sadly, the raccoon didn't make it.
Pictures that don't have an explanation. Here is a tire around a tree, but the biggest question is, how did that tire get there? You can't simply just pull it up. Weird. This picture was taken of a family at dinner, and at the time, these four were the only people in the picture. But after the photo was developed, they noticed this. Here's a nice picture of four friends just hanging out, but there seems to be an extra hand. Look closely. Right there. Whose hand is that? And this one. Here is a woman standing where the plane hit on 9/11. She was on one of the top floors, and apparently, she survived, but no one knows how.
George Weasley grew up to be Willy Wonka. Hear me out. George grew up, and as a continuation to his store, Weasley Wizard Wheezes, he decided to open up a chocolate factory. And the Oompa Loompas are versions of house elves. Now he lives there alone because he lost the person closest to him, his twin. And that's why everything in his office is cut in half, because he's missing his other half. I can see it.
The dumbest school rules ever. We have another one. This middle school wouldn't let their students talk at all during lunch. Apparently, this is a very common rule. But at one middle school, there was a group of friends that wanted to beat the system. So over the course of a few months, they all individually learned sign language. They became fluent, and they started talking to each other during lunch with sign language only. Oh my god, what are they doing? Dear God. Did they all learn sign language? Can they do that? Are they allowed to do that? I'll get the principal. And they couldn't do anything about it, because sign language technically isn't talking.
Pennywise and Mary Poppins are from the same species. Hear me out. They both return every 20-something years. Pennywise every 27, and Mary Poppins every 25. And when they return, they regenerate energy from new children. Also, they sometimes visit the same group of kids as adults. And in both stories, the grown-up versions of the kids forgot what they had experienced. This part is crazy. In both movies, they lure a child named Georgie away from their siblings while using a paper toy. And last but not least, they both share a love of dancing. I can kinda see it. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time Part 4. This is a snack time Cabbage Patch Kid. And this doll has a mechanical jaw, so when you put the fake food in its mouth, it'll start chewing. Well, believe it or not, they had to stop making these because many kids got their fingers and hair stuck on the doll's mouth and the doll wouldn't let go. The fire department was called on multiple occasions.
People's worst fast food experiences. One day he was hungry, so he drove to McDonald's. He went inside and ordered himself a McChicken. He sat down and started diving in. Well, about halfway through the McChicken, his stomach started feeling terrible. He immediately realized that something was completely wrong with the sandwich. Well, he couldn't hold it in anymore. He went to the McDonald's bathroom and started puking his brains out. Once he finally stopped, all he wanted was to get the heck out of that McDonald's. But when he went outside, he realized that his car had been stolen. That sucks.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. Again, this one isn't really a black market, but listen up. He told me in 9th grade, him and two of his friends started to throw parties. They would find someone's house to do it at first, and then they would begin planning.
At the start of this, they would charge $10 for a wristband, and if you showed up to the party with the wristband, you would get in. Well, the bracelets they would give out when someone bought them had a symbol you can only see if you held a black light over it, and every party there was a different symbol. They did this so kids didn't go out and buy their own bracelets so they could get in for free. The party started going crazy. They then upped their prices and started charging $20 for a bracelet, and then $40. And then they hired their friend to DJ the parties. They were making bank, and if the parties ever got too crazy, they would call the cops on their own party. And because it wasn't their own house, they would just leave. Some shady stuff, but he told me they made so much money.
These two people were protesting the climate crisis, and they thought the perfect protest was to go to an art museum and spill tomato soup on one of Van Gogh's paintings. You can see right here, they're also super gluing their hands to the wall, now giving a speech.
What is worth more? Art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
But what I find super hilarious about this is, one, how would this even help the climate crisis? And two, they didn't think this through because the painting had glass over it, which meant the tomato soup did nothing at all.
Sandy from Greece was dead the entire time. Hear me out. Sandy and Danny met during the summer at a beach. And in the song Summer Lovin', Danny sings, "I saved her life, she nearly drowned." But get this, what if she actually did drown and he couldn't save her? And the entire movie is an elaborate musical fantasy due to the lack of oxygen to her brain. A fantasy of what would have happened if Danny did save her. But he didn't. She died. So at the end when she sings, "Goodbye to Sandra D," is her accepting the fact that she passed away. And because she did that, the car flying up in the sky is her being escorted into heaven. I can see it.
Suspicious candy. This is Moam candy. It was made by the Haribo company, and apparently tons of people like this candy. But they've received some major backlash in the past, mainly from the designs that were put on the candy. At first glance, it's just a couple of fruits having a good time. But if you look closer, it definitely seems a little inappropriate for a kid's candy wrapper. Like, it's obvious what's happening here, right? It's crazy.
Weirdest Toys of All Time Part 15. The toy you're about to see is called a Pet Rock. It was released in 1975, and it was incredibly popular. The man who made this became a millionaire after selling 1 million pet rocks for $4 each. The rock came in a box with straw and holes in it, so it could breathe. And you tell me, would you want a pet rock?
Do you like cats? Send this to somebody that you know loves cats, okay? Alright, now that my cat lovers are here, I have a question. I'm gonna show you a video of a cat, and I wanna know, does this cat make you uncomfortable?
World Records I Think Famous TikTokers Can Beat Part 3. Today we have the record for most Reaper peppers eaten in 1 minute. The Carolina Reaper pepper is the hottest pepper in the world. And this man right here ate 119 grams, which is 22 Reaper peppers, in just under a minute. And then he had to stand there for another minute without vomiting or drinking any water. He broke the Guinness World Record. The TikToker I know can beat this, you guessed it, Spice King Cam. Craziest Things Found in Fast Food Part 1. A woman from Virginia was eating McDonald's with her son. They were having a great time, snacking on some chicken, and as she was about to take another bite, her son screams, "Don't eat that!" And when she looks down, she realizes there was a severed chicken head in her food. Completely disturbed, she calls McDonald's, and McDonald's offers to give her 2 weeks of free meals. She politely declined, and then sued McDonald's for $100,000.
This kid, let's call him Steven. He spent an entire year saving up. We're talking birthday money, pulling weeds, every $5 bill he could find. He didn't use that money to buy games or food or candy or nothing. He bought a gallon of slate gray paint, some shelves, a desk, and some other things. He spent his entire spring break sanding the floors of his room, painting the walls, setting up his desk and his computer, all by himself. By the time he was done, he had the best room in the entire house. I did it. Steven then went to a 3-day science camp. Well, on Sunday, when it was over, he gets dropped off back at his house, and he enters through the garage. And in the garage, he sees it. His desk, his bed, his shelves, just sitting there in the middle of the garage. Yo, what is going on? So he sprints upstairs.
The door to his room is locked, and he hears music coming from it. Well, his sister finally opens it. The gray paint was gone. It had been covered in a cheap coat of white, and his sister's ring light was right by the window. Her bed was there, with pink bedding. It was completely different. That's when his dad came out. "Oh yeah, son, by the way, we moved your stuff out of your room. We figured your sister could have a better use for it." You see, his sister was a wannabe TikTok content creator, and he said her content was suffering because her old room had no natural light. And since Steven fixed up the room so nicely, it was the perfect studio for her. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Well, your stuff's in the garage, son. Why don't you go build something in there?" He spent his own money to renovate a room that he wasn't even allowed to keep. Another instance of horrible parents. Crazy things kids did in school. A follower submission. So this guy is still doing this. At his school, the cafeteria sells a bunch of raisin boxes for some reason. And none of the students like raisins or ever buy them. So this kid and his friends every day get in the lunch line and steal raisin boxes from the cafeteria. They stuff them in their lunch boxes, backpacks, pockets, and they smuggle them out of the lunchroom. Then they go to his locker, which he never uses, and they stack the stolen raisin boxes in that locker. Like I said, they do this every day, so this tower has been growing and growing, and it's become kind of a famous landmark around the school. People are always gathering around it, taking pictures with it, like it's frickin' Mount Rushmore. He actually sent me an image of what the Raisin Tower looks like today. That's actually crazy.
How I got fired from my carnival job. I used to work in carnival games, and you might have seen my videos trying to expose them. Most carnival games are rigged, and some carnivals are bad. Mine definitely was. My boss used to tell us to never let somebody win a big prize. And we only had one game that you can win a big prize off of. This one. So they made it impossible. They took hammers and bent in the top like crazy. Well, one day a kid came and sunk it in. He was talented. I said, "You know what? Here you go, buddy. You've earned it." Well, my boss saw me and fired me. So watch my videos and don't let them fool you. It's time to take over the carnival games. Follow for more.
Facts about celebrities that nobody really talks about. Matthew Perry from Friends lost a part of his middle finger after he slammed it in a car door when he was 3 years old. You can see it right here in this screenshot from a Friends episode. Elvis Presley was actually a natural blonde, but he started using black shoe polish to darken his hair because he thought it made him more handsome. Denzel Washington has dislocated his pinky finger so many times that sometimes it just falls out of place. In 1978, Tim Allen, known for his roles in Home Improvement and The Santa Claus, was caught with 1.4 pounds of cocaine on him. He was facing some serious prison time, but he snitched on other dealers in exchange for a smaller sentence. When Angelina Jolie was 22, she hired a hitman to kill her. She was going through a really tough time and wanted to escape, but the hitman was a decent enough person to ask her if that's what she really wanted. He told her to think about it and call him in 2 months. Well, she changed her mind. She said something changed, and she decided to stick it out. Weirdest things teachers confiscated from students. At one middle school, teachers began to notice that boys were bringing a pineapple to class. They didn't think too much of it, but they started getting suspicious. The teachers then realized that this was the same pineapple that was being passed around from kid to kid every day. Well, one day a teacher walked into the bathroom and saw a group of boys worshiping this pineapple. "Thank you, pineapple, for everything you've done for us this week. I really appreciate you." Kyle? "Thanks, Billy." "Pineapple, I love you so much. I asked Stacy to the dance and she said yes. I know that was your doing. You're really amazing." Greg? "Thanks, Kyle. I wish that Mrs. Greenwood gets sick or falls down the stairs and breaks her arm because I really don't want to take the math test today." Pineapple, pineapple, we love you, pineapple. Pineapple, pineapple, we love you, pineapple. What in God's name is going on in here? I'm taking this pineapple. You three can go to the office. You have no idea what you just did. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 6. This one's a bit different. In middle school, this kid and his friends opened up a casino in the cubby room during lunch. They only knew how to play blackjack, so that was what they played. And it started off small. They were betting things like chips and pudding cups, but soon after, everybody was betting their lunch money. Well, this kid was a hustler, and he was winning everybody's money. Some kid got sad, told the teacher, and the casino was shut down forever. Worst toy designs of all time, part 11. The toy you're about to see is a plastic sword, but it also blows bubbles. And the sword by itself looks fine. The bubble container is just obviously just suspicious. This toy was found at a dollar store, and I just want to know who thought this was okay. SpongeBob and Sandy weren't doing karate in this episode. They were having intercourse. The episode opens up with SpongeBob in his house, alone, but then Sandy comes out of nowhere, wanting to do karate. So SpongeBob puts on his gloves, and then he stops, looks at the camera, puts his helmet on, and says safety first. I think we all know what this means. Later in the episode, SpongeBob calls Sandy late at night and says, "Hey, do you want to do karate?" And she says, "Nice try." That was obviously a booty call. Long story short, SpongeBob keeps getting in trouble at work because he can't focus. He's distracted by karate. Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob if him and Sandy keep doing karate, he's fired. So they stop for a while. And they both had it under control until one day Sandy saw SpongeBob doing karate on a sausage. And then she couldn't contain it anymore. They went to the park, and they did karate everywhere. And this scene, when they're done doing karate and SpongeBob is laying down, just a bit of pillow talk. It makes perfect sense to me.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. Follower submission. This one kid's dad always had a shopping list on the fridge, and whenever he wanted something, he could add it to the shopping list, as long as it wasn't candy. Well, he wanted to start selling candy at school, so what he did was he would put ingredients to make candy on the shopping list. And then when his dad would come back from shopping, he would take the ingredients and make this type of homemade candy. He would then divvy the candy up and put it into plastic bags, bring it to school, and sell it to students. Right away, kids loved this stuff. They said it was addicting. And when he realized kids loved this stuff so much, he was raising the prices. And people still paid. The entire time he was selling, business was booming. I don't know if he was shut down or if he's still running this, but he made some really good money.
Who did this? Part 2. This doll looks pretty normal, right? It looks solid, fun, would make a pretty good gift for a kid. But let's say that kid wanted to put the doll's hair down. Well, I don't think the toy makers thought that far. When you put this toy's hair down, this is what happens.
Why does this exist? This right here was a glove made out of shark skin, and you can buy it online for $900. It was made by an Australian designer, and these aren't just simply gloves made out of shark skin. The inside of these gloves are lined with thousands and thousands of micro thorns. These thorns are pointed inwards, so that means putting the glove on would be super easy, but if you wanted to pull it off, it would feel like 10,000 fish hooks tearing up your hand. Website says you could cut it off, but I'm just wondering what the point is. Would you wear these? Worst toy designs of all time, part 20. This one's not really a toy, it's a bounce house. A Pikachu bounce house. And honestly, I have no words. I have no idea who did this or why the hell they thought it was okay. The entire thing is just sus. See for yourself.
All of that. Her mama a party girl, she just want to have fun too. They say you ain't wifey.
Craziest things found in fast food. In 2015, this man, Mr. Dixon, went to a KFC. He ordered the chicken tender meal to go and he took them home to eat them. But as he was sitting down and enjoying these chicken tenders, one of them tasted strange and was kind of chewy. He then gave that piece a closer look and he saw what looked to be a deep fried mouse. Completely disgusted, he took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. The next day, he took it back to the KFC he bought it from and told the manager. And the manager freaked out and said, "Yes, I am so sorry, that is definitely a mouse. Would you like a free meal?" He declined the meal, took it home, and hired a lawyer. But the people at KFC corporate weren't buying it. They had him send it to their offices so it could be tested. And I guess it was actually just chicken. Seems a little sketchy, because when he went back, that manager was positive it was a mouse.
People that were legends in their high school. At this kid's high school, the history teacher was absolutely jacked. He would bike 10 miles to school every morning. He kept an ab roller in his classroom, and every day for lunch he would eat salad and beans. Well, one day he was giving this kid's class a pop quiz, and this kid named Jeff, who was the strongest, biggest kid in the class, goes up to the history teacher and says, "If I can punch you in the stomach and make you flinch, will you give the entire class 100% on these quizzes?" And the history teacher agreed. So Jeff prepares. He's winding up and he punches the teacher as hard as he possibly can in the stomach. And the teacher did not flinch one bit. And the entire class had to take the quiz. Jeff went down in history as the kid who punched a teacher. And the teacher went down in history as the guy no one should ever mess with.
Most dangerous toys of all time, part 3. This is a 2007 Easy Bake Oven. And believe it or not, this thing caused so many problems that they completely changed the way they made these. According to reports, hundreds of kids got their hands and fingers stuck in the oven's entrance, and many of them got burned. One person got burned so bad, they had to cut her finger off. World's records I think famous TikTokers can beat, part 1. The world's record for staring, or longest time with your eyes open, was set by a man named Stairmaster Stag, who broke the world record by having his eyes open for 41 minutes. Apparently, after 15 minutes, his eyes were red and watering. He said after 30 minutes, it felt like he was getting tattoos on his eyeballs. The TikToker I think could beat this is this man right here. Am I wrong?
The most disturbing kids' toys of all time. This here is called Jibba Jabba. It was a toy released in the 1990s. It's basically a doll that comes in different colored hair, and if you shake it, it makes a choking noise. Well, people didn't respond to it very well at first because 1, shaken baby syndrome is a real thing, and 2, children started trying to do this on their baby siblings. These are skinny bones. They're like Legos, but super creepy, and they can only make these people. And you could buy the whole family, and even a dog. They were made in 1970. They were discontinued due to lack of interest. But if you can find one today, they're incredibly valuable. And lastly, we have Growing Up Skipper. Skipper was launched by Mattel in 1964 as Barbie's younger sister. 10 years later, Mattel released Growing Up Skipper. And Growing Up Skipper sparked controversy everywhere. If you twist her wrist, this doll grows about an inch and her chest grows out. Watch this clip from the commercial.
You can have fun with Skipper when she's little, then suddenly you can make her grow up enough to wear her glamorous teenage skirt.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. This kid's got a pretty strong stomach, so in middle school he had a business idea. Every day at lunch he would have a milk from the cafeteria in front of him, and people could add anything they want to the milk and he would drink it. It was $1 to add a basic item to the milk, like raisins. But the crazier the stuff got, the more expensive it got. So for example, if someone wanted to put Vegemite in the milk, it would cost $5. This kid was drinking nasty milk combinations every single day. And business was booming. Kids loved watching him drink this stuff. He did this a couple times a week throughout the year, and in total, he made $350. Nice. Black markets kids ran in their schools. The cafeteria at this kid's school was absolutely terrible, and he thought that his peers deserved better. So one day he went home, told his mom what he was thinking, and she had an idea. She started making tons of Cuban sandwiches every day. She would give them to her son, he would take them to school and sell them during lunch. And apparently these sandwiches were amazing. Kids would stop buying cafeteria food. Instead, they would line up in front of his lunch table and buy the Cuban sandwiches. He became a hero around the school, and he made a couple $100. He split everything he earned with his mom. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. Every Sunday, this kid goes to Walmart and buys a bunch of melatonin gummies. He then puts those gummies in Ziploc bags, brings them to school, and tells the 6th graders that they're special gummies, if you know what I mean. Edibles. Well, people believed him, and they bought them. He sold 2 gummies for $10, and he's made around $700 so far. He hasn't been caught yet, but he did say he's noticed a lot of people sleeping in class. Black markets kids ran in their schools. In elementary school, there was this girl named Danielle that convinced a bunch of kids that she could forever change the taste of saliva in their mouths. She said she could make their saliva taste like watermelon, cotton candy, bubble gum, forever. And naturally, everybody thought that was awesome. So what she would do is she would make these people wait a couple days so they could really decide on what flavor they want their saliva to taste like. Anyways, after a couple days, these kids would come back to her with the flavor they decided on. And that's when she would charge them $1. They would give her the money, and she would make them chew on things like paper clips, erasers, pencil tips, and cardboard. And all these kids would do it. Well, obviously, nobody's saliva changed flavors. She was eventually found out and was forced to stop for obvious reasons. But she made around $25 doing this. That's insane.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. Follower submission. When he was in high school, he was taking woodshop class. And something he would make all the time was these wooden door stoppers that teachers would use. And the teachers at his school seemed to lose their door stoppers often. So he would make them and sell them for $5 a piece. Well, the funny thing is, the teachers weren't simply losing their door stoppers. This kid would secretly take them from their classrooms. And then when they noticed their door stopper was missing, they would come to him and ask him to make them another one. And the cycle continues. He made $300 doing this.
The worst things teachers have done. One day in elementary school, this girl was sitting in her class. She had asthma, and her asthma was acting up, so she was using her inhaler. Okay. Anyway, 2 plus 2 is... 2 plus 2 is 4, that's right, yeah. So, and 3 plus 3 is... Jessica, please. Are you kidding me? Apparently, the teacher couldn't teach because this girl using her inhaler was too distracting. So this is what she did. Give me that. I'm gonna put this in the office. Whenever you want to use it, you have to go to the office to use it, okay? Well, the next day, in that same class, that same girl was having trouble with her asthma again. So she asked, Miss, can I go to the office? I need to use my inhaler really bad. Not right now, Jessica. We're in the middle of a very important lesson, okay? She had a full-blown asthma attack. to the point where the paramedics were called and she had to be taken to the hospital. That teacher was fired the next day. What exactly is the glub glub gob glob? Not sure if I said that right. Well, I looked it up. It's from an animated Christian film called Straczynski and the Mysterious House. And according to the wiki page about it, the glub glub gob glob was an elf created by some wizard or something. And apparently he was tempted by some rat king, which caused him to become obsessed with evil books. And because of this, he turned into a blob and started saying nonsense like dibble dwabble, shwibble schwabble, glibble schwab glab. Do what you want with this information. Crazy things kids did in school. A follower submission. At this kid's school, during lunch, students had the option of fruit or carrots. Well, about a month ago, him and his friend decided to walk around the lunchroom during lunch and collect bags of carrots. Well, they started doing this every day, and people started helping them. Some days, they would walk out of the lunchroom with 40 bags of carrots. They would then take these carrots and stuff them into a locker that nobody used. Well, a week later, when they were checking on the carrot locker, a teacher was behind them and saw what they were doing. The teacher made the students throw away all the carrots, and in total, there was about 150 bags of carrots in this locker. Here's a clip of the infamous carrot bust.
83, 84, 85, 86. Oh my God.
That's a lot of carrots.
Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 21. These are clackers. They were very popular in the 70s. You wave around the string, and the two balls would hit each other, making a noise. But they were so dangerous, they stopped making them just 10 years later. There were many reports that the balls would hit each other and then shatter into thousands of sharp pieces, which would fly into people's faces, causing nasty facial and eye injuries. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 1. This is Rollerblade Barbie and Ken. They were very popular in the 90s, and believe it or not, these dolls actually started fires. There's a mechanism inside the skates that would literally shoot out sparks when rolled on a flat surface. And if that flat surface happened to be flammable, there was a really big problem.
Dumbest things people got in trouble for at school. In middle school, this kid's grandma had just passed away, and it was his first day back after the funeral. This is kind of what happened. Did everyone turn their homework in? I only count 17. And there's 20 of us, so who didn't turn their homework in? I didn't. And why didn't you turn it in, Kyle? Did you even do it? You should know this. My grandma just died and I was at her funeral over the weekend. I'm sorry, but I wasn't thinking about homework. Well, that's a shame, Kyle. I'm giving you a 0 for the entire week. Are you dead, Kyle? No. Homework is more important than funerals, as long as you're alive. Well, that pissed him off and he lost his mind. You are an absolute My grandma just died. She was my favorite person in the entire world, and I was at her funeral over the weekend, and now you're punishing me for not doing some stupid math assignment? Screw you! I wish you died instead of my grandma. That's it! Go to the office right now. Good heavens. He explained what happened to school administration, but nobody cared. He was suspended for a week.
Shrek was a serial killer. Hear me out. Shrek has always been defensive and protective of his swamp. He does not want anybody in there. The biggest thing, though, is in Shrek Forever After, we see a timeline in which Shrek never existed. And in that timeline, other ogres live in the swamp. And when Shrek sees them for the first time, he has an expression of guilt on his face. I think he killed the ogres to have the swamp all to himself. We see Shrek eating eyeballs that look like ogres. Was he a cannibal? Shrek is not who we thought. Follow for more. Exposing Carnival Games, Part 15. This is why you never play the games where you can win a live animal. We all know the fish there sometimes die very soon. It's because they're not healthy. Some do live a long time, but when I worked at a carnival, I came into work one day and all the fish were half dead. I told my boss, we can't give these away to people. He said, you better, and you will, otherwise you're fired. And I needed money. So all day I gave away dead or half dead fish to people. It was awful. Follow for more secrets.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. Before school every day, this kid's mom would take him and his brothers to a bagel shop to buy bagels. Well, he was hungry, so he bought 3. He ate one and brought the other 2 to school. When he got to school, one of his friends asked him for one of his bagels. He said sure, for $3. And then later that day, another person asked him for the other bagel. And he said sure, for $3. And that's how it started. He started buying 5 bagels every morning, bringing them to school and selling the bagels for $3 a piece. Keep in mind, he only bought those bagels for $1.50 at the store. A couple weeks later, he brought some leftover pizza to school, and he sold the pizza for $7 a slice. So now he's bringing a bunch of bagels and a bunch of pizza to school every single day and selling out. One day, the security guard asked him why he was carrying a bunch of pizzas into school. So he told him, and the security guard was going to tell the principal, until our boy offered him 10% of the profits to keep his mouth shut. Over the course of 3 years, he made $21,000. One day, some kid that had a beef with him told told the principal everything. So his business was shut down and the security guard was fired.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one kid had hundreds and hundreds of zip ties, and every day he would zip tie a bunch of people's stuff to different things, like backpacks to desks, lunch boxes to railings, belt loops to chairs, and people were getting so pissed, and they wanted revenge. So what this kid did was he sold them zip ties. Business was booming because he did this to a lot of people. They bought zip ties from him and got him back. And once they were all done getting revenge on him, they started doing it to other people. And then those people wanted revenge on them, so they bought zip ties from him. He made hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and he had a lot of returning customers. Nice.
The hidden meaning behind the first words Snape ever said to Harry. In the first movie, Snape says this to Harry, and it's the first time he's ever spoken to him. He says,
"Tell me, what would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood?"
and we think he's calling him out for not paying attention. But when you take a closer look at the words he said, there's a whole different meaning. According to Victorian flower language, asphodel is a type of lily, and it translates to, "My regrets follow you to the grave." And wormwood means absence, and sometimes it also means sorrow. And if you combine the two, it means, "I bitterly regret Lily's death." The man was sending his condolences. Candies that were banned in the United States, Part 1. This is a Kinder Egg. It's a chocolate egg with a small toy inside. They just started selling these again in the United States in 2017 after 50 years of being banned. According to reports, a handful of kids died after eating these and choking on the toy. They were so illegal that in 2012, 2 men were detained on the Canadian border after trying to smuggle a bunch of these eggs in. They went to jail.
People who are definitely cursed. This guy's senior picture on his yearbook did not turn out the way he hoped. Whoever did this obviously didn't care at all. This guy who was stuck in his car for a while because his Tesla decided to do a random software update. That is not convenient. After getting 3 flat tires, this person decided to look around their gravel driveway, and this is what they found. But that's not all. After a couple more hours of searching, this is the updated pile. This man's Speedo swimsuit had the S fall off. Now it just says pedo. Oops. And this mom who threw a graduation party for her son, but nobody showed up. That's super sad. The dumbest rules parents had their kids follow. When this girl was in high school, her parents had this very strict rule. Alright, love you guys, I'm going to my friend's house. Okay, don't forget the rules. I won't. The rule was this. She had a curfew every night, and for every minute she was late after curfew, she would be grounded for a week. So if she was 2 minutes late coming home, she would be grounded for 2 weeks. Well, one day she was stuck behind a train. Come on, come on, come on. It was one of those long trains. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it was passing for 10 minutes, causing her to be 10 minutes late, Marissa. Do you know what that means? You were 10 minutes. Honey, please, I got this. No. 10 minutes late is what? 10 weeks. Excuse me? 10 weeks. 10 weeks, very good. You're grounded for 10 weeks, now get to your room. Oh, God, I hate them so much. Stupid rule. What the heck? What's a pineapple doing in here?
Does this make you uncomfortable? Old Navy did something weird. What you're about to see was spotted at an Old Navy somewhere. Apparently, they installed it because they thought it would help them sell more jeans. Now you tell me, would this make you want to buy jeans?
Watch this. Hey Kyle, you're a loser, man. Why do you do this, Chad? What have I ever done to you? You annoy me, I think you're a loser, and nobody likes you. Alright, Chad, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Alright, bye. What are you even gonna do with your life, Kyle, huh? Your parents are probably gonna be so disappointed with you. Oh, you think so, Chad? What are you gonna do with your life? I'm joining the Navy, so... Oh, you're joining the Navy? Yeah, I'm actually shipping out around Christmas time next year after I graduate, so... Oh, okay, well, the only thing your mom wants for Christmas is a folded flag. You better take that back, Kyle. Alright, class, so can anyone answer this question? Miss, I think you spelled that word wrong. I definitely did. Thank you, Kayla. Let me just correct this really fast. Ha! Nice going, idiot. At least I don't sit by myself at lunch.
Oh my god, what a loser. Got him. I hate that guy. Why he smell like cheese?
Hey, Kyle. What do you want, Chad? Nice headphones, loser. Oh, okay, Chad. Well, I saw the results of your test in math class last week. 43%. That's really good. Shut up, dude. What? Yeah, I think your father would be very disappointed in you if he stayed. The craziest things people gave to Goodwill. Welcome to Goodwill, how can I help you? Hi, yes, I want to donate this box of stuff, please. Of course, yeah, we can just, we'll get this all sorted away for you, and then... Damn, she's quick. Well, later that day, they were going through the box of stuff she donated. It was mostly normal stuff, but there was one thing in it that was super weird. Yo, what the heck? Steven, come here. Hey, yo, what's up, Sync? Look at this. Yo, dude, this is someone's ashes. It was somebody's ashes. A cremated person. And on the box it said Gregory. I think that lady gave her dead husband to us. When something like this happens, they call corporate, and they're supposed to send someone to take care of it. Well, no one came, and days passed. They ended up putting Gregory on a shelf in the office. Gregory has become a part of the work family. Whenever there's a new employee, the first thing they do is introduce them to Greg. Whenever something strange happens in the store, they blame it on Greg. They all truly love Greg. Black markets kids ran in their schools. At this one kid's high school, there was a kid that would always wear black. He kind of had a gothic type style. He looks like the quiet kid, if you know what I mean. He always carried around a giant duffel bag. Nobody really knew why he carried it around, and people were scared of him. Till one day at lunch, a student saw this kid open his duffel bag. And inside of it, there were 3 12-packs of canned soda, Coke, Sprite, and Voltage Mountain Dew. Turns out, this kid was just selling goods. He would sell that soda every single day, and he would pretty much sell out. And when more people realized that it was only soda in the duffel bag, his business grew even bigger. When he ran out of soda, he restocked and sold more. One kid found out later that the reason that he was doing this was because his family was struggling with homelessness. And this business he ran in school was to help his family buy food. Mad respect.
Craziest Things Found in Food, Part 13. In 2008, a woman from England went to the store. She bought herself some microwavable mac and cheese. She went home, heated it up, got a fork, and was diving in. Suddenly, she felt something very sharp go down her throat. She looked in the mac and cheese and found 2 2-inch nails in there. And then she realized the thing she swallowed was another nail. She went to the hospital to get it removed, but the doctor said to let it come out naturally. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 28. This is the kite tube. It was a tube you would pull in the back of your boat. But the cool thing about this is it would fly in the air while you were on it, like a kite. But they were incredibly dangerous. They stopped making these in 2006. The tube would fling people off of it, resulting in many injuries, including a broken neck, a punctured lung, chest and back fractures, and 2 deaths.
Things people thought were normal growing up, but actually weren't. When this kid was growing up, whenever he took a shower and he had to poop, he would just poop in the shower. And apparently he did this all the time. I don't know what his parents thought about this, or if they did it too, but it wasn't until this guy was in college. He was in a shared dorm room with a shared bathroom. He was taking a shower and he took a dump. The people who shared that bathroom with him were absolutely disgusted and horrified. They were like, dude, did you just take a shit in the shower? He's like, yeah. Don't you? They're like, no! And that's when he realized that what he had been doing his entire life is super sus.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals Part 10, the balloon pop game. It's fun and very popular. A little insight onto how this game works. We were taught to underinflate the balloons, which obviously makes them harder to pop. What you want to do when you play this game is look for the balloons that are shiny. Try to pop those. If they're shiny, it means they're more inflated. I once had a kid come in, he paid for the game, I gave him the darts, and then his friend distracted me. He sharpened the darts in the concrete, and then he crushed it. I was honestly impressed.
Asking restaurant workers to write a confession on my delivery order, Part 1. Alright, so for this first order, we're doing Little Caesars. I placed the order on Uber Eats, so I'm hoping they do it. Can you please have someone write an anonymous confession/secret under the lid? It's for a video. It'll be here pretty soon. Let's see if they actually do it. Alright, so it's on the way. It'll be so lame if they didn't do this. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're going to the kitchen. And the confession is... Please. I am quitting this job next week. Yes! Dude! Honestly, that's super juicy. Thank you, Little Caesars, for doing this. Looks like you'll be a person short next week. Follow for more on the series. Weirdest Toys of All Time, Part 12. Technically, this one is not a toy. It's an inflatable slide, and it's based off of the Titanic, the ship that tragically sunk in the middle of the ocean. The shocking part to me is that people actually rent this and use it at their parties. Do you want to see it? Here it is. Candies that were banned, part 3. Trolley roadkill gummies are small gummy candies shaped like animals that have been hit by a car. They were tasty and kind of fun. But an organization in New Jersey stopped these from being made because they thought it would encourage kids to hurt animals. This is what they looked like.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a private high school with a very strict dress code. And if anyone didn't follow the dress code, like they forgot a tie or they weren't wearing a belt, they would get detention. This kid wanted to make some extra money, so this is what he did. He went to the thrift store and bought a bunch of ties, belts, shoes of different sizes, even pants and polo t-shirts. He would wash them every day and fold them neatly inside of his locker. And that's how he started his school uniform rental business. If anyone forgot an item of clothing, they would come to him. Hey, yo, dude. Yes, hello, my good friend. What can I do for you? I forgot my tie today, and the teacher is looking for me right now. What do you got? Bro, I got you. I got blue and black ties. What do you want? Black tie, please. You want to rent it for the day or the week? Just today. All right, $10. You can return the tie to me here at the end of school, okay? He was making bank, and he was a savior to his classmates. In the end, he made about $600.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 10, the balloon pop game. It's fun and very popular. A little insight onto how this game works. We were taught to underinflate the balloons, which obviously makes them harder to pop. What you want to do when you play this game is look for the balloons that are shiny. Try to pop those. If they're shiny, it means they're more inflated. I once had a kid come in, he paid for the game, I gave him the darts, and then his friend distracted me. He sharpened the darts in the concrete, and then he crushed it. I was honestly impressed.
Dumbest school projects of all time. This one person's elementary school science project was, what temperature do ladybugs prefer? And the teacher required the students to take 4 mason jars, all of them full of ladybugs, and place them in different locations. The kitchen counter, the front porch, the refrigerator, and the freezer. And they were supposed to be observed every day for 2 weeks. Well, obviously, every single ladybug died. Some lived longer than others, but one thing was certain. Ladybugs prefer not to be put in a freezer. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a pretty small school, so everyone knew each other. Well, between 3rd and 4th period, in the boys' locker room in the gym, people held a fight club. You had to know somebody to be able to get in. They even had weight classes. The most popular and entertaining match they had was 2 130-pound skinny kids fighting one 300-pound held-back 20-year-old. The fights got pretty intense, but everyone knew when to hold back, because nobody wanted to come to class with ripped clothes or a bloody face. There was even a referee for these events. The people who organized this fight club were making bank. But there was also another service. This one kid had a very nice camera, and he would record these matches in super high quality. He would then take these fight recordings and put them on the internet, and the only way people could watch them is if they had a password. So now, these guys are running an actual fight club and basically a streaming service to watch the fights if you couldn't be there. Crazy days for sure at this high school, and nobody will ever forget it.
Pictures that don't have an explanation. Here's a tire around a tree, but the biggest question is, how did that tire get there? You can't simply just pull it up. Weird. This picture was taken of a family at dinner, and at the time, these 4 were the only people in the picture. But after the photo was developed, they noticed this. Here's a nice picture of 4 friends just hanging out, but there seems to be an extra hand. Look closely. Right there. Whose hand is that? And this one. Here is a woman standing where the plane hit on 9/11. She was on one of the top floors, and apparently, she survived, but no one knows how.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in 6th grade, he had a 3D printer. Well, he had always tried to figure out a way to make money off of the things that he 3D printed. And then one day at school, he realized that tons of kids wore Crocs. So he had an idea. A Croc charm in the shape of Dwayne the Croc Johnson. He first made a few for his friends, and they loved it. And when other kids saw his friends wearing this charm, they wanted some too. So he made tons of them, and he began selling them for $3 each. He was was making crazy profit because it didn't cost him a lot of money to make at all. Business was absolutely booming, but he began having trouble keeping up with the demand, so he hired a few of his friends to help him do the selling. Well, one day when he was sitting in social studies class, the principal came in and asked to talk to him in the hallway. He was very nervous because he thought he was going to get shut down. But all the principal said was, "So I heard you're selling croc attachments in the shape of the rock. That's pretty interesting, and I was wondering if I could buy one. Gotta respect the hustle."
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. The milk can toss is one of the hardest games at the carnival. At least it wasn't mine. You throw the softball into the milk can and you win the prize. But the hole is only 1/16 of an inch larger than the ball. And most workers where I worked were told to do this. If someone won, say they didn't. Say their arm was over the counter or they were standing too close. I've also seen them hitting the top of it with a hammer to make it even harder. If you do want to win this is how you do it. Grab the ball from the top and throw it underhand with some backspin. And if it goes in, don't let them tell you no. Weirdest Toys of All Time, Part 9. The toy you're about to see was released in 1970, and apparently kids loved it. They stopped making them many years ago, and today the original toys in good condition sell for around $400 on eBay. Honestly, I'm not sure if this toy is super cool or super weird. It's called Milky, the marvelous milking cow, and all you do is literally milk a cow. Would you want this? Exposing Carnival Games, Part 1.5. Where I worked, if you were caught giving away one of these to somebody playing the game, you'd be fired on the spot. These are apparently very expensive and pretty much just for show. If you've won one before, someone may have gotten fired because of it. Follow for more secrets.
Secrets people are taking to the grave. When this guy was a kid, he went to the Family Dollar with his mom and a few of his cousins. They went off to do their own thing and he was in the toy aisle. He started flinging marbles across the floor. He stopped, and then 2 minutes later, he hears a crash and a woman scream, "Somebody help this man!" He went to go check it out. When he got to where the commotion was coming from, he saw a group of people standing around a man who had fallen off of a ladder. He was seizing, and there was blood everywhere. His mom then whisked him and his cousins away, and they left the store. Well, the next time they were at the Family Dollar, they asked one of the cashiers what had happened.
Hi, yeah, so my son and I were in here a few weeks ago. What happened to that man who fell down? When he fell off the ladder, he hit his head, and sadly he passed away. Oh my god, how did he fall? We found out later that he had accidentally set his ladder on top of a marble, made the whole thing a bit wobbly, and he fell off. It's crazy. If that marble wasn't there, he would be alive today.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. This kid found a ton of Pokemon cards in their dad's attic. Like hundreds and hundreds of them. And she had an idea. She started making homemade booster packs. She would divide 10 cards out, put them into pack, bring it to school, and sell them for $7 a booster pack. On her first day, she had 4 customers, so she made $28. But then, a super rich kid came up to her and told her he would give her $120 for 100 cards. And she said yes. She was getting pretty excited about this business and interest was growing, but the principal found out about it immediately and her business was shut down.
Should you trust it? Part 1. Fountain drinks. Should you trust it? Every restaurant is supposed to clean them every single day, and most places do, but mostly just the caps in the tray. I used to work at Pizza Hut, and we were super slow one day, so I decided to do a deep clean of the fountain machine. I pulled some of the tubes out, and I seriously found mold in about 100 cockroaches. And after some research, I learned that this is pretty common. Follow for part 2.
My favorite comebacks. Let's dive right in. Look, there's Kyle. He is so weird. Watch this. Hey, Kyle. Yeah, what's up, Stacy? Can I ask you a question? Sure, what? How's your girlfriend doing? I don't have a girlfriend. I know, I'm just reminding you. Hey, Stacy. What? How's your dad doing? Why would you say that? Her dad left. Oh, I know. I just wanted to remind her. Dumbest things people got in trouble for at school. When this girl was 11 years old, she loved pink lemonade, and her school had vending machines that sold pink lemonade for $1.50. Well, she didn't like spending that much money, so she had an idea. She started buying and bringing a bunch of pink lemonade powder packets to school, so all she has to do when she wants lemonade is mix it with water. Well, right away, the vice principal called her to the office and accused her of selling drugs. She's like, I'm not selling drugs, this is just pink lemonade powder. but he kept insisting that she was using and selling drugs. And she kept telling him, hey man, just smell it, you'll know it's pink lemonade. But he wouldn't do that. He suspended her for 3 days and sent the pink lemonade to a lab for testing. Obviously, the powder was not drugs. The dumbest school rules ever. This one high school had the dumbest school rule ever where students had to ask before taking a sip of anything. At lunchtime, kids were fine, but if you were in class and you wanted to have a sip of water, you had to ask the teacher, may I have a sip of my water, please? Okay, thank you. Well, one kid that attended this high school told a story. It was getting close to summer, and he was sitting in class. The AC wasn't working very well at all, and he was thirsty. Steven, did you ask me? Huh? Oh my god, no, I forgot, but I'm so sorry. It's just so hot in here, miss, and I'm like dehydrated. I don't care, you didn't ask me. I know, I'm sorry. Give me your water bottle and head to the principal's office right now. Okay, here. What the frick? He went to the principal's office and the principal gave him a detention. Some parents heard about the situation and they got super mad. The school changed the rule shortly after. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in 8th grade, he put Shrek's face on a dollar bill and photocopied it. He made tons of copies. He would cut them out and bring them to school. And kids in lower grades were coming up to him asking if they could buy one Shrek buck for $1. And business was absolutely booming. He was making hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And Shrek bucks became the new school currency. Students would trade their Shrek bucks for food, for services, stuff like that. Well, eventually the school caught on to what he was doing and he was shut down and suspended. They took everyone's Shrek bucks and destroyed them. When he got back to school after his suspension, he found 5 Shrek bucks in his backpack. He pulled them out to show a few of his friends. Well, when people saw this, they lost their minds. And secret bidding wars happened. One kid whose parents were super rich gave him $300 for one of the original Shrek bucks. He eventually moved schools, but in total, he made over $1,000.
Did this mom go too far? She has a 9-year-old son who built a very impressive Minecraft world with a beautiful castle on an island, which he was very proud of. Well, since school was canceled due to the pandemic, he had trouble waking up in the morning. She said he was supposed to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning, but he had been sleeping in till about 9 or 10. She told him that if he doesn't start waking up on time, there will be consequences. And for 2 weeks after that, he was doing really well, waking up on time every day. Well, one day, he accidentally slept in until 11. The mom decided to follow through with what she said. She went to his computer and deleted his Minecraft world. When she told him, he was completely distraught, crying, saying it took him over a year to build it. She also said for days after that, he refused to eat any meals. Did she go too far?
Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one's kind of different. At this person's elementary school, basically all the kids used metallic ends of pencils as currency. Green was the most common, so it was the least valuable. Bronze was the rarest at their school, so that was the most valuable. They traded these metallic pencil ends for fancy erasers, pencil cases, or for a spot up in the Foursquare line. The school eventually banned this, but these kids still operated. Groups of people were acting as banks to keep the currency hidden and to keep the transactions private. That's pretty sophisticated.
Exposing Arcade Games Part 7. I have a tip for you to get more tickets. If you win a game, and the game is giving you tickets, pull them as they come out, but not too hard. You don't want to rip them. But if you pull them as they come out, especially on older machines, it'll give you more tickets than you've won. At my old job, some kid did this and got a bunch of tickets. I saw him do it, but I let it slide because that's awesome. Follow for more secrets. Did you know this about Applebee's? There are tons of Applebee's all over the country. But did you know that every single Applebee's has the same head chef? You didn't? I'm gonna show you a picture, and you might find this person very familiar. This is the Applebee's head chef.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. One day, some kids realized that if you lightly stepped on a bee in the grass, it would temporarily stun the bee without killing it. So a couple of them got a crazy idea. Every day during recess, they would go out into the grass and scout for bees. Then they would stun them and scoop a bunch of bees into plastic Ziploc bags. They would then sell these bags of bees to other students so they can take them to class and release them, which would scare people and waste time. They sold these bee bags for 25 cents each. Teachers and school administration noticed this and started cracking down on it. Every day they were confiscating plastic bags with live bees in them from tons of students. Eventually they had somebody outside every day at recess to stop anyone from catching these bees and selling them. The weirdest families ever. When this kid was in middle school, she was sleeping over at her friend's house. She wanted to take a shower, so her friend gave her a towel. She said the towel smelled kind of weird, but there was no other towels in the shower, so she used it. She later found out that this girl's family shares one towel to prevent having to use new ones all the time. She told her friend how weird it was, and she was shocked to find out that her family had their own towels every time they showered. Unfortunately, she couldn't get over this situation, and she never slept over at her friend's house ever again.
Hey Amazon, this picture doesn't make any sense. Like completely and actually 0 sense this picture makes. I just wanted to let you know that.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. Okay, so this one really isn't a black market, but listen to this. When he was in 6th grade, he had a locker that he didn't really use. So every day he would bring a bunch of sandwiches and water bottles to put in the locker. And he would give away the water bottles and sandwiches during lunch to kids that couldn't afford to buy a lunch. What a freaking good guy. Well, the principal shut him down one day. Said he couldn't do it anymore. But a bunch of students got really mad and started begging the principal to let him bring it back. And the principal finally caved. And he was able to continue giving away lunches to kids that needed it. Respect. Craziest things found in fast food. In 2008, a man from New York went to Subway and ordered himself a footlong. As he was biting into the sandwich, he felt something thin, hard, and sharp between his teeth. When he got a closer look, he saw a fairly large serrated knife that had been baked into the bread. He was absolutely pissed. He could have really messed up his mouth. He let the store know and hired a lawyer, and he accepted a settlement of $20,000. The worst parents of all time. When this girl was 11, she was a straight A student, and it was her best friend's birthday party coming up, and she was so very excited. Well, report cards came in one day, and turns out she got a B in one of her classes. Well, her parents were pissed. They grounded her on the spot, and they told her that she couldn't go to her best friend's birthday party. She told her best friend's mom what happened. Her best friend's mom knew how tough it was for her at home, because she was constantly being yelled at, belittled, and hit by her parents all the time. So on the day of the party, right before it was gonna start, her best friend's mom drove to her house, barged in the door, and said this. Sweetie, hi, I need you to get ready, pack a bag, you're coming to my daughter's party, and you're spending the night, okay? Quick, let's go. Excuse me, you are not taking my daughter anywhere. She is grounded and staying home tonight. Oh, is that so? Well, how about I call Child Protective Services on you for the 50 cats pissing and in your house? That's what I thought. Have a great night. There was this kid whose locker was in the best spot of the school. It sat directly under one of the school's air conditioning vents. It's nice and chilly over here. Nobody paid attention to it, not really even him, until one day he throws a Gatorade on the top shelf of his locker. Comes back a couple hours later. Whoa, this is ice cold. And it's cold. So the next day he tries it again with a soda, a warm soda. He puts it in the morning, he checks it after lunch. Oh, that's a crispy soda. That's when he gets an idea. Instead of filling the top shelf of his locker with his own drinks, he starts renting shelf space. $1 to keep your drink in there until lunch. $2 if you wanted it till the end of the day, to have a cold drink for practice or something. People didn't believe him at first. Dude, there's no way your locker is like a refrigerator. Until one dude tried it. He went to pick up his Dr. Pepper before lunch, and it was cold. No guys, it actually worked. It was first come first serve until the top shelf of the locker was rented out completely, and there was always someone who couldn't get a spot because it was booked up. Kids lined up before the first bell at his locker, holding milk, Gatorade. One kid said, "Will it freeze my ice cream?" He had it organized. He put sticky notes on with the person's name so he knows whose was whose. Teachers found out, but they were just amazed. Like, yo, what a smart kid. And what a strong air conditioning vent. And according to the students, that was the most valuable locker in the school. Yeah, I believe it. And guess what? You gotta respect the hustle. The senior prank was to fork the lawn, which means sticking forks all over the school's lawn. You see, at this one particular school, they used real silverware, and the seniors have been planning it for a long time. All right, guys, we have 3 months. Whenever you get the chance, steal a fork. You got it, Johnny.
Brilliant plan, old chap.
Every lunch period, they would be taking these forks secretly, and they were doing it slowly so it seemed like a natural disappearance of silverware. Well, by the end of spring, the seniors had hundreds of forks. And no other class knew. Then the night before their last day of school, they came to campus, quiet. And they took all of these forks and they shoved them into the lawn, evenly spread apart. And there were so many forks. By the time they were done, the grass looked like it had grown metal hair. It's beautiful. Bro, take that wig off. And the next day, administration went crazy. And the thing was, there was only one custodian left for that school year. This older guy. My name's Mr. Johnny. Hey, Mr. Johnny, can you please pull these forks out of the lawn? I don't want anybody tripping. Oh, okay. And then there he was, down on his hands and knees, pulling these forks out of the grass, hundreds of them. Bending, sweating, he's working alone. A teacher finally came in to try to help him. Hey, Mr. Johnny, you can... That's when he saw his face. Mr. Johnny was crying. Thank you. That prank then went down in school history, but nobody ever talked about the guy that had to clean it all up. Hey, respect Mr. Johnny.
Send this video to somebody that loves cats. Hi, I'm gonna show you a video, and I want you to put yourself in this situation. Say you haven't been able to find your cat for an hour, and you're looking around and you finally check under the couch and you see this. Would you be concerned?
A very sad Shrek theory. Everyone hates Lord Farquaad. I know I do. He's the worst. Well, listen to this. At the beginning of the first Shrek movie, we are introduced to a bunch of fairy tale characters, including Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. Now fast forward a few minutes to when everyone is in front of Shrek's swamp. Papa Bear and Baby Bear. But where's Mama Bear? Well, later in the movie, in Lord Farquaad's bedroom, we see this. I believe that's Mama Bear as a bedroom rug. Follow for more.
Things you have to try while lucid dreaming. Once you learn how to lucid dream, and you are now able to control your dreams and be fully conscious in the dream, try this stuff. Go into a random house and see how the people who live there react to you in there. Then open their fridge and see what they have in the fridge. Stand in the middle of the street and yell to the sky, "Show me something awesome." If nothing happened, try it again. Your dream will respond to you and show you something awesome. Make a door appear in front of you. And as you're about to open it, think of any place that you want to go to, and then walk through. And my favorite thing, walk around the city and hang out with a random dream character. They'll take you on some crazy adventures.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When he was a freshman in high school, he noticed you could buy one 6-pack of Kool-Aid Bursts for just $1 at Walmart. So he had an idea. He was gonna buy a bunch of 6-packs, freeze them overnight, and bring them to school. He would then sell them for $1 a bottle. So he would buy one 6-pack for $1, sell all 6, and make $5 profit. Business was booming. Before long, he was bringing in 36 6-packs of Kool-Aid Bursts every day, and he was selling out. During his freshman year, he made about $5,000. Until one day during lunch, he was doing his business. It was busy. Everyone was thirsty and they wanted Kool-Aid. Well, he ran out and went back to the football locker room to pick up more. Somebody followed him, and they found out exactly what he was doing. When they got back to the lunchroom, he was busted. They had all of his inventory and money stacked on a table like it was a scene from Narcos. He was then escorted by school staff to the principal's office. As he was walking out, however, students booed and screamed and caused a riot because they wanted their frickin' Kool-Aid, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was then suspended. To this day, people call him Juice. He is now an entrepreneur and owns a few small businesses.
Does this make you uncomfortable? There is a restaurant somewhere that serves up some very realistic looking cakes. Like these right here. That's a potato, right? No. It's cake. But then the video I was watching showed this clip. It's a cake of a pig, and the pig is pregnant. Watch the video. Times kids gave the best comebacks in school. This one happened during the lockdown when everyone was taking classes on Zoom. This kid was at his house in Zoom class when he got up to get a glass of water. This is what happened next. Kyle, where did you go? What? Sorry, I can't hear you. What'd you say? Why did you get up and leave? Where did you go? I went to get a glass of water. Next time, ask me, please. That is incredibly disrespectful to me and the rest of the class for you to just leave. Excuse me? Stop talking, okay? This is a warning. How is this bitch gonna tell me I can't get water in my own house? I beg your pardon? Is your mom home? Bring her on screen right now. Okay. Hey mom, come here. Yeah, what's up? Mr. Stevens just yelled at me for getting a glass of water. What? How is this bitch gonna tell you you can't get water in your own house? That's exactly what I said. I'm sorry. Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he can get paid to clean off the gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So they paid him $5 every time he cleaned gum. And then the principal found out about this and asked him if he could also clean the gum from underneath the lunchroom tables. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle. But then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one here is only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces. And he sold each piece for 50 cents. But he was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them to put the gum underneath desks or the lunchroom tables when they're done. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. Black markets kids ran in their schools. Followers sent me this story about her brother. When he was in 7th grade, him and his friends were working a garage sale for one of the friends' grandpas. When the day was done, the grandpa said they can take anything they wanted from the garage sale to keep. Well, this dude picked a George Foreman grill. He decided he was going to start taking it to school. He would then use that grill every day to toast his sandwiches at lunch. And then he started doing it for his friends. And after a few weeks, everybody wanted their sandwiches toasted. So he had an idea. He would charge people $1 to toast their normal sandwich. So kids would come to lunch with their ordinary cold sandwich, give him $1, and he would toast it. Business was booming. Until one day his dad got a call from the school office saying he needs to come in. When he got there, he saw his son sitting in a chair with the grill on his lap. The principal said he could not be doing this anymore and the George Foreman grill had to stay at home. Well, his dad challenged them. He asked them, where in the handbook does it say students can't grill sandwiches at lunch using a George Foreman grill? And they couldn't find it. So he was allowed to keep the grill at school. He made about $1,000. Until the next year, in the handbook, it said students can't toast sandwiches in a George Foreman grill. This kid's a legend.
Creepy signs I don't want to see in person. Hitchhikers may be escaping inmates. That's terrifying. And definitely why you should never pick up a hitchhiker. If you are leaving the ski resort, you can die. Straightforward. Honestly, thank you for the warning. So don't leave the ski resort. I mean, did they have to really freak us out here with this one? Stop, prevent your death, go no farther. They even got the Grim Reaper. Alright, hey, it works. And I don't even know what this one is. This is terrifying. Definitely would stop me in my tracks. Follow for more.
Craziest things found in food, part 12.
In 2011, a woman from Texas went to Walmart. She bought herself a tub of ice cream and headed home. When she got there, she opened it up, scooped herself a serving, and was ready to dive in. But as she was scooping the ice cream, she noticed something very disturbing in the middle of it. It was a razor blade. She was confused and completely shocked. How to get in there? She called Walmart up, and the person on the phone said, "I'm sorry, I hope your day gets better."
The best kept secrets in the world. This is the Habsburg napkin fold. And believe it or not, this is a top government secret in Austria. This napkin fold is only to be used for Austria-Hungary royalty. And many people have tried to recreate this, but failed. There are no instructions, no guidelines anywhere on how to do this. And the people that are chosen to learn this fold have to make a vow that they will keep it a secret forever. I bet you I could do it.
Exposing arcade games, part 4. I'm sure you're all aware of the game Keymaster. The key goes up on a row when you press a button so it can go right on the prize. This game is tough because it goes through a certain period of time where it is impossible to win. Like nobody can win. It will force you to lose every time. However, after a certain amount of money is made, the game goes into payout mode. And you will be able to win, if you're good at it. So the next time you see this game, just wait until people play it a bit, and then take your shot. Follow for more secrets.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. This one high school had something called homework passes. The teachers would get them from the principal at the beginning of the year, and kids could use them to have one free pass on a homework assignment or one full day delay on a project. These passes were super intense too. If anyone ever tried to copy them, a void message would appear on the copy. Well, these teachers at the beginning of the year would pretty much pass these out to anyone paying attention in class. The market was flooded. Everyone had homework passes. Well, this kid had an idea. He started buying people's homework passes for $2, and he managed to buy a ton of them. Then he would wait. He would wait till the end of the quarter. That's when every class had very large projects and reports due, and that's when he would sell these homework passes back to students. He sold them for $35 each, and everyone bought them because everyone wanted an extra day to get the reports done. This kid was a genius. In total, he made over $1,000. That's amazing. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. This kid ran a business in middle school. Whenever the cafeteria was serving French fries, he would do this. He would get to the lunchroom very early, and he would steal all of the ketchup packets that were available. The ketchup packets and the condiments were located on a different side of the lunchroom, so lunch ladies wouldn't be able to see him stealing them. Then he would put the ketchup packets in his backpack and pull out a full ketchup bottle. When he saw that enough kids had their fries and were sitting down, he would walk around the lunchroom with his ketchup bottle, charging people 50 cents for one squirt of ketchup. You might be asking, why didn't he just sell the ketchup packets? Well, he didn't want people to think that he was the one that stole them. He wanted everyone to think that he was the hero with ketchup. He did this for about a month or two. Towards the end of the second month, he started charging $2 to $5 per squirt, and some people did it. He made around $400 before the school got suspicious and he was shut down. They suspended him for a week.
Exposing carnival games, part 4. This is High Striker. You slam the hammer down, and if you're strong enough, it hits the bell, right? Well, it's more so about accuracy, and some places have a wire that actually control if the bell gets hit or not, so... Basketball. The rims are bent at most places, and the basketballs are overinflated, which make them extra bouncy. Like, this ain't right. Follow for more secrets.
What my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. Because most of the games are rigged, they're extra hard to win. So one tip is get to the carnival right when it opens and head straight to the games. Ask the workers if you can practice the games for free. When I used to work there, I would always let kids play for free when it was slow. This way you can practice and win. Sometimes you'll win a big prize and the workers will say it doesn't count, and they'll make up some reason like your hand was over the ledge or you were standing too close. Don't back down. If you're with friends, keep insisting, no, I did it right, I get the prize. And don't let them fool you.
Craziest things found in food. Okay, this one's not food, but it's a drink. A man named Frank from Ormond Beach, Florida was sitting outside with his wife one day, drinking a Pepsi. After his first sip, he immediately gagged and spit it out. He realized that there was something very wrong with his drink. When he poured the Pepsi out, he noticed a pink goo coming out, followed by a black goo, and then a giant blob that wouldn't come out of the can. He immediately called the FDA. They grabbed the Pepsi and the weird thing that was in the can, brought it to a lab and tested it. Turned out that big glob of goo in the can was a frog or a toad.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. The milk can toss is one of the hardest games at the carnival. At least it wasn't mine. You throw the softball into the milk can, you win the prize. But the hole is only 1/16 of an inch larger than the ball. And most workers where I worked were told to do this. If someone won, say they didn't. Say their arm was over the counter, or they were standing too close. I've also seen them hitting the top of it with a hammer to make it even harder. If you do want to win this is how you do it. Grab the ball from the top and throw it underhand with some backspin. And if it goes in, don't let them tell you no.
Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 16. This one was sent to me by a follower. When he was in middle school, they would have a school dance every second Friday of the month. And after a while, he began to notice that at every dance, about halfway through, Domino's pizza was delivered. And the school would sell the pizzas for $1 a slice. Well, he got a pretty solid idea. He saved his money up, and at the next dance, he stood outside and waited for the Domino's pizzas to be delivered. He then paid for them. He brought them inside and sold them for $3 a piece instead of $1. And they still sold out. He made pretty decent money, and the school tried to get him in trouble. But he just used supply and demand as an argument, and was voted most likely to be president. Real life cheat codes. If you ask someone if they know all the lyrics to I'm a Little Teapot, almost every time they'll start singing the song. When you're talking to somebody and they say something true or something that you already knew, say you're right instead of I know. It'll make them feel better and you'll seem like a nicer person. And my favorite, nobody ever stops a person carrying a pizza. The next time you go to a concert, bring a pizza box and try to walk backstage. I bet they'll let you right in.
Weirdest things found in homes. Somebody found this tiny little door in their house that says milk on it. Does anybody know what these were used for? In the basement of somebody's apartment building, they found this mile-long tunnel. But look what's painted on the walls. Oh heck no. At someone's house, the paint on the wall was starting to crack, and they were able to see every single layer of paint since the house was built. That's actually pretty cool. When tearing up the walls at a house, they found this pretty awesome mural painted behind it. And this, somebody found a chain behind the wall of their new home. I can't imagine what that was used for.
Most dangerous toys of all time, part 2. This is a sky dancer. Another toy popular in the 90s. Believe it or not, these caused a lot of injuries to a lot of kids. You pull the rope and they go spinning up in the air. But they were so dangerous, they stopped making these after 6 years. These fun toys caused facial lacerations, temporary blindness, concussions, and even broken ribs. Senior pranks gone wrong, part 1. Students at a school in Brooklyn were about to graduate, and they really wanted to pull a senior prank. They got some friends together and came up with an idea they thought would be hilarious. They took a bunch of laxatives and baked it into a chocolate cake. Then they put the cake in the teacher's lounge. And the teachers, thinking that this was just a nice gesture, ate the cake. And that's when things got serious. 3 teachers got very sick. 2 of them were sent to the hospital. And for the students, not only were they suspended and banned from graduation, they were arrested and charged with assault.
Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When he was a sophomore in high school, he had the idea to start selling Powerade bottles out of his football locker. His teammates would always buy one after practice and he was doing pretty well. But then he wanted to expand his business. So he started buying bags of chips and making homemade burritos at home. He then brought them to school and sold Powerade bottles for $2 each, chips for $1 each, and burritos for $3 each. Or you could buy them all together, the chips, the burrito, and the Powerade for just $5. This went on for 2 years. Nobody snitched and business was booming. He made about $5,000 and then COVID hit and everything shut down.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 6. Ring toss is freaking hard. Like for most people, it's almost impossible. The rings you are given are just a tiny bit bigger than the bottlenecks. They're almost exactly the same size. And when someone actually does win, at least where I worked, we would make an excuse, say it doesn't count because their elbow was over the edge, or they were leaning forward too much, even if they weren't. The way to win this? Step back 2 feet so they can't tell you that, and throw the rings low and like frisbees. Sometimes they hook a bottle and you'll win. Man, I freaking hate ring toss. Are you a fan of dogs and art? Send this to somebody right now that you know loves dogs and art. Okay, my friends, welcome. I'm gonna show you a picture of a statue, but it's not a normal statue. It has a dog's face. And you tell me, does this make you uncomfortable?
World records I think famous TikTokers can beat, part 9. Today's record is most beanie hats worn on your head at once. This man right here's name is Travis. He's from Georgia, and he broke this record. He managed to fit 119 beanies on his head at one time. And according to the video, they stayed on there pretty well. There is one TikToker I think has the drive and motivation to do this. Plus, he also loves beanies. The person I challenge is, you guessed it,
People that were legends in their high school. This one high school had costume contests during Halloween. Well, this one kid showed up to school wearing a Walmart hot dog costume. As he stepped up on the stage, everyone thought it was funny. And they were chanting, "Hot dog kid, hot dog kid." And he won the award for best costume that year. Well, the next year, he wore a penguin costume. And as he stepped up on the stage, he stood there for a second. And then he ripped off the penguin costume to reveal the hot dog costume underneath. Everybody in the school absolutely lost it. That kid became a legend right then and there. Now, students can't win the costume contest 2 years in a row, but everyone knew that hot dog kid had done it again. The most legendary teachers of all time. During this college class, the professor would walk in, and every day he would open his briefcase and set a tennis ball on the podium for the entirety of the class. No one knew why he did this, and after a few weeks, they just thought he was quirky. But one day, a student sitting in the front row fell asleep. He took the tennis ball and threw it at the sleeping student to wake him up. He then continued the lecture and acted like nothing happened. All the students in that class then knew why he had that tennis ball. Well, the next day, the professor comes into class the same as he always did. But this time, he didn't put a tennis ball on the podium, he put a baseball. And from that day forward, nobody ever fell asleep in his class ever again. Things teachers did in the 80s that wouldn't fly today. Hey Kyle, stop Chad, come on. Are those new clothes? Did your mom buy them for you, loser? You suck so bad. What did I ever do to you, Chad? You were born, that's what you did. Come on, man. After school today, I'm gonna beat your ass. Well, that class ended, and as everyone was walking out, the teacher asked him to stick behind for a second. Kyle, can I talk to you for a second, please? I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevens. I was trying to do my work today, but I need you to do something for me, okay? I hate Chad so much. After school today, I need you to find Chad and punch him right in the face. After you're done punching him, call him a pansy bitch and spit on him. I will make sure that you don't get in trouble for it at all, okay? So after school, he finds Chad in the parking lot. Hey, Chad, what do you want, Kyle? Come here. Pansy bitch.
Are you being watched? Do you ever feel like someone is staring at you or that you're being watched? Whether it be in a classroom or out in public? I'm gonna give you a trick that will show you if someone's staring at you. Here's what you do. If you get this feeling, yawn really big. Yawns are actually contagious, and if the person you think is watching you yawns as well, chances are they've been staring at you for a while.
Send this video to somebody that has a dog. Welcome to my video. I'm gonna show you a picture of something somebody made for their dog that had recently passed away. It's a coin purse, but their coin purse looks just like their dog that had passed away. And I wanna know, would you do this for your dog? Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 10, the balloon pop game. It's fun and very popular. A little insight onto how this game works. We were taught to underinflate the balloons, which obviously makes them harder to pop. What you want to do when you play this game is look for the balloons that are shiny. Try to pop those. If they're shiny, it means they're more inflated. I once had a kid come in, he paid for the game, I gave him the darts, and then his friend distracted me. He sharpened the darts in the concrete, and then he crushed it. I was honestly impressed.
Random pictures that kind of blew my mind. This is a ball of salt someone took out of the Dead Sea. That's crazy. Apparently, if a burn or a cut is severe enough, dirt won't stick to it. I guess some airports have bathrooms just for dogs. This one's in Canada somewhere. They even got a fire hydrant in there, that's lit. This is a pink grasshopper, and yes, they exist. How did I not know about this? This is the chair that Abraham Lincoln was shot in. It definitely has a creepy vibe. These scissors are hella long, but I bet it makes cutting wrapping paper so much easier.
Scariest Toys of All Time Part 1. This is Sir Growls-a-Lot. He looks like a nice teddy bear, and tons of people have bought him for their kids. But believe it or not, this teddy bear has made hundreds of children cry. Although innocent looking at first, when you give him a hug, this happens.
Craziest things high schoolers did. When this guy was a senior in high school, he planned to rob a bank. He worked everything out, and it was a very solid plan. Well, the day comes, and he rides his bicycle to the bank and robs it. Give me all your money. I will punch you in the face. I will punch you in the frickin' face right now. Give me all of your money, please, now. He ended up getting $11,500, and then he escaped on his bicycle. He got to his house, hid the bicycle in the garage, and ran inside sweating and panicking. His sister was home. Kyle, what's going on? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Turn that off. Turn that off.
This just in, the local bank was robbed by somebody riding a pink bike. They came in, robbed the place, and left on the bike.
Did you hurt anybody? No, I didn't even have a weapon. How much did you get? Like 11,000? Okay. I got your back, man. Nice. I know. It's nuts. With that money, he took his girlfriend on a nice cruise and used some of it to pay for his college.
Why the milk bottle carnival game is so hard. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to knock these all down at the same time? I'll tell you why. Where I used to work, we filled the bottom row with sand and left the top ones empty, so that whenever someone plays, only the top come down. Here's how you win. Chuck it as hard as you can at the bottom row. If you're strong enough, they should all come down. Exposing carnival games. Have you wondered why your goldfish that you won die so quickly? Let's just say that they are sitting in this tank every single day and they are fed twice a day. The ones that are left in the bags at the end of the day stay in the bags. The water is never changed, so they get ammonia poisoning for sitting in still water and their own waste. I've seen it. Follow for more secrets. Who did this? Part 5. This is a teddy bear wearing a sweater. It looks nice and fun and all that. It's probably great as a gift. But the people that made this toy didn't put too much thought into it. Because if you ever want to change this sweater, this is what you're gonna see.
So this guy's nephews are graduating high school. It's a big crowd, he knows it's gonna be packed. So he shows up to the graduation early. He brought his own folding chair because he has bad knees, and he brought some headphones. So he opened his chair, sat down, and popped his headphones in. And because he's early, he was just chilling by the entrance. About 40 minutes before they let everybody in, this pregnant woman shows up. Somebody must have let her cut in line because all of a sudden she's right next to him. And not even 5 minutes later, she taps him on the shoulder and says this: "Excuse me, would you mind letting me sit in your chair? I'm having trouble standing." Okay. He's polite about it, He goes, "I'm sorry, I can't. I got really bad knees and bad feet, so, I need it. That's why I brought it." She nods and then asks again like 2 minutes later, and he's like, "Yeah, still no, I'm sorry." So now she's annoyed. She's huffing and puffing. She turns to her husband and is like, "Can you say something to him, please?" "Hey man, she's pregnant. Would you mind letting her sit in that seat?" The gall of these people. Okay. Anyway, this guy says, "I get it, but I really do need it. That is why I brought it. She can wait in the car or maybe sit on the curb or something. I don't know. It's not my problem." Now this lady's husband flips. Wow, you are such an a**hole. Here's the thing. This guy came early. He planned everything. He brought his own chair because he has bad knees and feet. That's his chair. And now he's the bad guy for not giving his chair to some rude pregnant lady?
please. This might be the best hoax of all time. In 1957, on April Fool's Day, BBC released a 3-minute hoax report showing a family in Switzerland harvesting spaghetti from a spaghetti tree. Now, obviously, spaghetti doesn't grow on trees, but in the 1950s, spaghetti was relatively unknown in the UK. Most people didn't know that it came from wheat flour and water. Here's a clip from the video.
It's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer.
At the time, 7 million homes in Britain had a television, and they all saw this, and most of them believed this to be real. After the broadcast aired, tons and tons of people were calling the station, asking for advice on how they can grow their own spaghetti trees. And instead of the people at BBC telling these callers that the spaghetti trees aren't actually real, they said to place a piece of spaghetti in a tub of tomato sauce and hope for the best. Genius ways people cheated on tests. In middle school, this dude and his best friend had every single class together. Well, he had a hard time in school, but his best friend was super smart. Well, they came up with a brilliant idea. Yeah, dude, I don't know, I keep failing the tests. I try to study, but it's just so hard. That sucks, dude. I'm getting straight A's. Shut up, dude, I know. Hey, can you tutor me? I don't got time for that, bro, but I have an even better idea. Students were actually allowed to eat during class, especially tests, and most of the tests at the school were multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. Whenever there was a test, his smart friend would bring a bag of M&Ms to class. When the test began, the smart kid would eat an M&M for every single question. Like I said, these tests were mostly multiple choice. Well, if he ate a red M&M, it would mean A. If he ate a yellow, it would mean B. Orange, C, and blue, D. So this kid would just sit back and fill in the answers based on what M&M his friend ate. And this plan worked brilliantly. He started passing all the tests. They were a good team, and the only reason they got caught is because some kids snitched on them. They both got detention, and the school changed the eating in class rule.
The Disney Frozen Conspiracy. Walt Disney died of lung cancer over 50 years ago, and rumors began to spread that Walt Disney had his body frozen so he could be reanimated. These rumors started after a reporter claimed to have seen Walt Disney frozen in a metal chamber at the hospital he died in. Now, some say it's his whole body that's frozen, some say it's just his head. And apparently his body is under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland. Now, fast forward to when Frozen came out. People had a really hard time Googling this conspiracy because when you put Disney Frozen in Google, this comes up. Was Frozen made to hide the fact that Walt Disney is frozen? Sounds crazy, but what do you think? Follow for more.
Harmless but funny ways to mess with people. The next time you're in an elevator full of people, look down at the ground and say, wow, they did a great job cleaning up this elevator. You would never know someone was just stabbed to death in here. That's amazing. Wait, what?
Weirdest Toys of All Time Part 1. This is the Laboring Dog Barbie set. You have Barbie, her dog, and the puppies. It seems nice. But this dog has a special feature. If you load the puppies into the dog and you press the dog's head down, the dog will literally give birth to the puppies. Most Dangerous Toys of All Time Part 6. This is a Fisher-Price Power Wheels. It's one of those small cars that kids can drive around in. Well, in the 90s, Fisher-Price had to recall so many of these because they were so dangerous. These things would get so hot they would burn people. And what's even crazier, there are many reports of these randomly catching on fire, even if they weren't being used.
Crazy things kids did in school. This one middle school had a very strict rule. If anyone was caught vandalizing or writing on the bathroom stalls, they could get a detention or be suspended. Well, one day, this kid was in the boys' bathroom with his friend. This friend was a pretty good artist, and his friend started painting on the bathroom stall. Dude, what are you doing? You're gonna get in trouble. Shut up. Okay? This is gonna be my masterpiece. And it was. That kid skipped 2 of his classes, and what he ended up painting on the stall was a almost exact copy of the Mona Lisa. It was beautiful. For a few days, students would gather in that bathroom to marvel in its glory. Oh my god, it's beautiful. There's a girl in the bathroom. Oh, shut up. Just look at the art. Eventually, the school found out, and the kid that did it was busted. Got a 2-day suspension, and he was forced to clean up the painting from the stall door. The best pranks of all time. One day, this kid found out that he could make a perfect dolphin noise. His parents and his siblings all thought it was amazing. Well, one weekend, they were on a boat on Lake Michigan. It was one of those tourist boats. They paid like $10 each to go for a nice ride. Well, while they were on the boat, the kids started doing the dolphin noises.
What was that?
Even the ship captain came out.
Attention everyone, am I going crazy or did I hear dolphins?
The rest of the boat trip, people were very confused because there are no dolphins in lakes. Pretty crazy about the dolphins, huh? This is a lake. Why did we hear dolphins? That's insane. Anyway, have a good one, okay? Yeah, you too. Idiots. The dumbest things people got in trouble for in school. It was a hot summer's day at this one person's elementary school, and during lunch, every single lunch table had these mini water jugs on them. Well, this kid forgot his water bottle that day, and he was very dehydrated. So during lunch, he drank a ton of water. He drank so much that the lunch ladies had to refill them a couple times. Well, the next day, just before recess, the teacher stopped everyone and said that the lunch ladies complained because somebody drank way too much water the day before, and they didn't appreciate doing that many refills. None of his class was allowed to leave for recess until the teacher knew who the water drinker was. Well, this kid was a shy kid, so he kept silent, but one of his friends ratted him out. He got in trouble and had to stay inside while all of his friends went out to recess, all because he drank some water. That's crazy. An 8-year-old kid really wanted McDonald's, so this is what he did. In 2017, an 8-year-old kid from Ohio really wanted McDonald's, but he didn't want to ask his parents and he had no way to get there. So this is what he did. He taught himself how to drive a car by watching a bunch of YouTube videos. He then got his 4-year-old sister, they got into their parents' car, and they drove effortlessly to McDonald's. On their way to McDonald's, countless people saw them and called the police, saying, "Hey, I think there's a young child driving a car by himself." The police eventually arrived at this McDonald's, and they were absolutely amazed. This 8-year-old kid drove there perfectly. He didn't hit a single thing, and he followed every single traffic rule. While they were waiting for their parents to pick them up from McDonald's, the McDonald's gave him and his sister free cheeseburgers. That's absolutely crazy. Times people saw something they weren't supposed to. It was the end of winter, and this girl was about 5 years old. Well, she woke up one morning and noticed the snow was starting to melt. She was looking outside her bedroom window. That's when she noticed something strange. So she went and told her, "Dad?" "Yes, sweetie?" "There's a girl sleeping in our garden." "What?" She then took her dad to the window and showed him. "See right there." "Go downstairs right now. Go downstairs right now." "Yeah, I want to report a body." Apparently, that girl had been sleeping in the garden for about 2 weeks. And as the snow melted, it revealed her frozen body. That's horrifying.
Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 33. This is the Gilbert's Atomic Energy Lab. It hit the market in 1950, but they only sold about 5,000 because they were expensive and kind of dangerous. This toy allowed kids to observe actual radioactive material. It came with 4 different types of uranium, which is toxic, and prolonged exposure and ingestion could cause kidney and liver failure, as well as cancer. Finding an original model of this toy today is very rare. They are collector's items and worth a lot of money. World records you definitely couldn't break, Part 1. This man's name is Michel Latido, and he holds the record for most metal eaten. Over the course of his life, he's eaten over 9 tons of metal, including an entire plane just like this one. He eventually developed a disease called pica, which caused him to only want to eat non-food items, such as metal, glass, and dirt. Doctors said he was able to do this because he had thick stomach and intestine lining. He died in 2007 from natural causes.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. When this kid was in 8th grade, his school had something called a flex period, where every student had an hour to do whatever they wanted. Play games in the gym, do homework, just sit there. Well, this dude had an idea. He started bringing his PS4, his games, and 2 controllers to school every day. He then found a spare empty room with a TV in it, and realized that if you lift up the ceiling tile, there's an outlet. So he hooked up his PS4. Well, all the kids wanted to play, so he started taking reservations. If students wanted to play the PS4, he charged $10 for 15 minutes, $30 for 30 minutes, and $60 for the whole hour. Business was booming. He made $640 in 1 month, but he was shut down because somebody found his reservation sheet. They snitched, and his PS4 business was done. The dumbest rules parents made their kids follow. When this person was growing up, his parents wouldn't allow him to use public restrooms at all. Even on trips to Disney World. If he had to go to the bathroom, they had to go all the way back to the hotel, which is bogus. When he was in elementary and middle school, at the start of every year, his parents would call the teachers and told them to let them know if their son ever used the public bathroom. If he was caught using the public bathroom at school, his parents would punish him when he got home. Growing up, there was no place he could safely use the bathroom other than his home without getting in trouble. When he got to high school, the parents tried the same thing. They called the teachers and said, "Let us know if he ever uses the public restroom." The teachers in high school thought that was weird, and they never followed through. So he got away with using the bathrooms in high school. But it wasn't until college, where this kid was finally allowed to use any public bathroom he wanted without fear of being punished by his crazy parents.
Creepiest Toys of All Time Part 5. The toy I'm about to show you is called Little Miss No Name. It was released in 1960, and it was supposed to be a toy very popular with the kids. But it failed, and I think I know why. Just look at it. Would you want this toy? How grocery stores trick you into buying things, Part 2. They put items that are popular with kids in the lower shelves on purpose. So it's within their reach and they can see it. They'll grab it and ask their parents for it. Kids can be very convincing. And the checkout lines are usually very small. And there's a reason for that. It's harder for you to return items that you may have accidentally put in your cart. It's easier to just buy it. Follow for more.
People who were legends in their high school. When this guy was in high school, the mascot was a bulldog. Well, one day, this kid was driving around doing donuts in the high school parking lot when he accidentally ran into the statue of the bulldog. The crash knocked the bulldog off its platform, and this kid freaked out. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. He looked around and nobody saw what happened, so he got out of his car, picked up the bulldog, and shoved it into his trunk. He then drove to a bridge and tossed the bulldog into the water, disposing of the evidence. I'm so sorry. He never told anybody about this. It was a huge deal at the school with an entire investigation. It wasn't until 15 years later when he was having beers with his brother that he confessed. His brother was amazed that he was able to keep this secret for this long.
Alright, countries, how many coronavirus cases do you have? 0. We're killing it right now. But literally, anybody who has the virus knows their fate. It may seem like a lot, but we've been keeping it under control recently. Yeah, we've also been pretty successful recently. Hey, listen, I don't even know how the virus got to us. I thought we were invincible. Oh yeah, we got the highest number. First place, America's #1. Wait, that's a bad thing? Oh my.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. 7 years ago at this one high school, there were black markets for everything. Candy, chips, soda, cell phones, iPods, you name it. But the crazy thing is, one kid ran every single one of those businesses. His name was Pablo. He was a mysterious kid, but anytime anybody wanted something, they would go to Pablo. Hey, you're Pablo, right? What do you need? I was told you might have the answers for Mrs. Smith's chemistry test later today. Oh, the 8th period chemistry test? Hold on, let me see. $25. Everyone at school was always so amazed that Pablo had literally everything. So some kids started to challenge him. Hey, yo, Pablo, what do you need? I really want a toaster. Like a toaster for toast? Yeah, like for toast or Pop-Tarts. Alright, bet. Meet me after lunch. And after lunch, hey, Pablo! Bro, keep your voice down, man. I'm running a business here. Did you get it? Did I get it? One toaster, man. Hey, $25.
Exposing Carnival Games Part 14. This is how you can tell if your carnival is being shady and trying to make games as hard as possible. Next time you play Balloon Pop, look at the dart. If it looks dull and rounded, they did that on purpose to make it super hard. But if you throw hard enough, you can pop some. And Duck Pond. I'm not recommending this, but if you ever see Duck Pond unattended, no workers around, start flipping them over and see if you find the duck that says Big Winner on it. When I worked there, someone did it, and they called us out. Again, I'm not recommending it, but follow for more secrets. Quick carnival game tips. If you're about to play a game and the carny shows you how it's done beforehand, ask them, "Can I stand where you're standing?" The carny will say, "No, you have to stand there." And then you say, "That's not fair, because your demonstration is easier." And see what they say. Where I used to work, someone asked me that, and I helped them win, because they were right. Follow for more secrets.
Most dangerous toys of all time. This is a sky dancer. It has wings, you pull the string, and the thing spins and flies up into the air. You might remember it from this video. Well, apparently these things were very dangerous. There were hundreds of reports of these things causing eye injuries, scratched corneas, broken teeth, and even concussions. Well, they stopped making these for good and recalled about 8.9 million of them in the year 2000. When he was 10, his grandpa asked him, "What do you want for your birthday?" And he says, "A brick." "A brick? Why?" "Because my parents still have this super old TV. If I throw a brick at the TV, we'll have to get a new one." "Oh, I'm just kidding. Maybe just some Pokemon cards or something. The grandpa just smiles and nods. A couple months later, this kid's birthday comes around, and there's a beautifully wrapped present on the table. Heavy, perfect corners. The kid opens it. Inside was a single brick. The grandpa's losing it. You're crazy. I can't believe you remembered. And the grandpa leans in and says real quiet to him, "Wait till your mom's in the kitchen, and then we'll waste the TV." So the kid's mom goes into the kitchen to grab the cake. The kid takes the brick, smashes it in the TV. TV is destroyed. What happened here? Now we gotta get a new TV. Yes. The grandpa took the blame for throwing the brick at the TV. "I don't know why I did that." Then the kid says, "It's okay, Mom. Please don't be mad at Grandpa. I'll help you pick out the new TV." "Okay, fine. You're right." "It's okay, Pops. You'll be okay. Just sit down and relax. I'll clean this up." The mom then leaves to grab the broom. "Nice work, kid. I love you, Grandpa." What a nice story.
Most Haunted Toys of All Time, Part 1. This is Talking Elmo. They were first sold in 1996 and they were very popular with families and kids. You could program this Elmo to know and say your name. It also giggles when you tickle it. But in 2008, the Bowman family bought one for their son James, and things were fine until Elmo started saying things that were kind of weird and not normal for this toy. They thought it was strange, so they took the batteries out of the doll. They forgot about it for a while, until one day, they heard Elmo singing a song. He was singing the words, "Kill James." Sully from Monsters, Inc. was murdered by the humans. Hear me out. In the first movie, if you remember, Randall says this to Sully. "I heard humans skin monsters and make toilet covers out of their fur." Nonsense, right? Well, in a Disney short called Partysaurus Rex, we see this. Poor Sully.
Black markets kids used to run in their schools, Part 1. A teacher posted this story on the internet. At the school she used to teach at, the cafeteria did not season any food, so everything tasted bland. Well, one kid got a brilliant idea. He would buy bags of salt and pepper packets and sell them to kids in the cafeteria. He charged 50 cents for one salt and one pepper and made hundreds of dollars in his first month. But then the school shut him down, and kids went back to eating bland cafeteria food. Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. When he was in middle school, he noticed everybody loved Nike and Supreme. So he went on Amazon and bought 1,000 Supreme stickers for $15. And others like this. He went around to school every day and sold these stickers for $1 a piece. And he was selling hundreds a day. The kids at his school went crazy for his business. And believe it or not, he made around $6,000 in 2 or 3 weeks. But he was eventually caught. And the school was so freaking petty, they made him donate $1,000 to school equipment. They didn't respect his hustle, so I don't respect them. Black markets kids ran in their schools, Part 31. When this guy was a senior in high school, he was student body president. That meant he had a lot of responsibilities and privileges. One of those privileges was having a master key to the school. The high school had gates that students had to go through before entering or leaving the school, and his job was to lock those gates after school started in the morning and unlock them at the end of the day as kids were getting out. Well, he realized it was a great business opportunity. Kids that were always late to school would text him every morning asking him to leave the gates open so they can make it to class, and he would charge them $5 to do it. And then there were the stoners. They would always text him asking him to open the gates early so they could ditch class and go smoke in the parking lot, and he charged them $15 to do it. He made $2,000 his senior year because of this, and he was never caught or suspected because he was a straight-A student and everybody loved him. Weirdest advertisements of all time. In the 90s, Nintendo's Game Boy was very popular, and this was one of their ads. Game Boy, more fun than a ferret down your trousers. In 2017, Casper Sleep released this ad. It aired during the week at 2 a.m. It says can't sleep, and then there's a phone number. If you call the number, you can listen to wind chimes, waves crashing. You can also hear a brief history of the cocktail weenie. Apparently the number still works. And last but not least, in 2018, IKEA released this advertisement. It was a brochure that said, peeing on this ad may change your life. And that strip right there is a pregnancy test. And if somebody who's pregnant pees on it, it shows a discounted price for a crib.
Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 31. This is the Austin Magic Pistol. It was a toy gun that was very popular in the 1940s. You would put crystals in the back of the gun, add some water, and an explosion would cause a ping pong ball to shoot out at great speeds. But they were quickly taken off the market. The explosion was so dangerous, it would give people burns and facial injuries. Some states even classified this as an actual firearm. Here's what it looked like in action. Fiona from Shrek was a cannibal. Hear me out. In the first movie, Fiona is held captive in a castle waiting for her knight to come and save her. And the dragon is the one keeping her there. And I think also the one feeding her. How would she survive all this time without eating? We then see this. A cookbook that says nightly treats, detailing how to cook a night for food. I think Dragon cooks the knights and feeds them to Fiona. I also thought she probably eats the horses of the knights. But we see that the horses are left to die in front of the castle. So she's a cannibal. Follow for more.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 6. Ring toss is freaking hard. Like for most people, it's almost impossible. The rings you are given are just a tiny bit bigger than the bottlenecks. They're almost exactly the same size. And when someone actually does win, at least where I worked, we would make an excuse. Say it doesn't count because their elbow was over the edge, or they were leaning forward too much, even if they weren't. The way to win this? Step back 2 feet so they can't tell you that, and throw the rings low and like frisbees. Sometimes they hook a bottle and you'll win. Man, I freaking hate ring toss.
People being absolute jerks. This impatient driver was in a rush and ended up rear-ending an ambulance, causing a traffic jam and forcing the ambulance to stop with the patient still inside. These two brothers were having a beautiful moment when they finished building a pyramid out of beer cans, but then someone in the stands decides to destroy it by throwing a ball at it. Come on. And lastly, this grandma who was so mad that she had to destroy the TV. Think she went a little too far. That's messed up. The dumbest school rules ever. This one middle school had a rule where if a phone goes off in class, everyone has to immediately stand up with their hands in the air. Okay, and that's why Hitler was a bad man. Okay? They did this so they could figure out who was on their phone. But this rule went even deeper. If someone refused to comply, Kyle, stand up. I see you trying to put your phone in your pocket. Stand up right now. No. If someone didn't comply, they would call 911. 911, yeah, this is the school. It's happening again. A police officer would then come, take the student that wasn't obeying rules, and bring them to the police station. That's messed up. Crazy things people did in high school. When this girl was a senior in high school, she would sneak out of the house at 2 a.m. every so often to meet up with her friend. Her parents were kind of crazy. They would lock every single door at night, and they had bells hanging from each door, so they would know if somebody came in or out. The only door in the house that didn't have a bell on it was the laundry room door. And the laundry room door led to the garage that had a side door that led outside. So that's how she would do it every night. Well, one night, for some reason, that garage door was locked, and she didn't want to get in trouble. But then she had an idea. She had her phone on her, she called her mom, and this is what happened. Mom, hi, I woke up in the front yard. I don't know why. All the doors are locked. I'm really scared. Mommy, help me. And her mom bought it. Thank goodness you had your phone on you. And thank goodness you didn't wander off into the street. There's people driving around here. They're crazy. You drink your milk. I'm gonna make you some waffles. It's all okay. I got you. I would love some waffles. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals part 7. You definitely know this one. Everyone does. Ladder climb game. It's so hard to climb to the top. Whenever most people try it, they get about halfway and then they flip over and fall down. Well, there's actually a trick to it. If the worker's a cool person, they'll let you do it this way. What most people do is they use the ladder steps to climb up. But that way doesn't work. Instead of using the bars, here's what you do. With your hands, climb up grabbing the ropes. And keep your back feet wide. This keeps your gravity centered, and it should allow you to get to the top with no problems. Worst toy designs of all time, part 19. What you're about to see is a couple of elephant blocks. You know, wooden blocks of elephants. And they all connect like a puzzle, but the way they connect is just a little sus. I feel like somehow they could have done a better job. See for yourself. One day in middle school, this kid was in math class, completely bored out of his mind. So instead of reviewing the packet he was given, he was doodling a picture in his notebook. He was sketching a cartoon of that teacher. Weird haircut, holding a ruler like it's a sword. I mean, it was kind of brutal, but it was funny. Well, suddenly the teacher walks by and she sees it. Is this supposed to be me? No. She snatches the paper, holds it up like it's evidence. Think this is funny? Office, now. He's like, yep, I'm done for. Detention for sure. He walks down to the principal's office, nervous. He gets in there and he hands the principal the picture that he drew of his teacher, expecting the worst. The principal stares at it, silent for a second, and then... he bursts out laughing. Okay.
Alright, first of all, man, this is spot on. Kudos to you. Second of all, I've been telling her to fix her hair for 3 years. Really? Oh, yeah. Hey, pass me that red marker. Okay. He takes the red marker and draws flames behind her in the picture. Boom. Now it's art. I'm gonna keep this, alright? For me. Go to class, man. You're good. Oh, alright. No detention, no punishment, just a really cool interaction with a super cool principal. That's awesome. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did to learn how to lucid dream. It takes a little bit of work, but in my opinion, it's so worth it. Tons of people say they don't dream. That's false. Everyone dreams, people just don't remember them. So the first step is to keep a dream journal right by your bed. And when you wake up from a dream, try not to move too much, because dreams are muscle memory. So lay there for a few minutes and try to remember anything you possibly can about the dream, and write it down. After a while, you'll be able to remember multiple dreams a night. The second most important step is reality checks. Throughout your day, do reality checks, where you assess your surroundings and try to determine if you're in a dream. My reality checks were the finger through the palm trick, or the plug your nose and try to breathe. Do these whenever something weird happens, or whenever you're thinking about dreaming, or anytime you walk through a door. One time I was convinced I was awake and at school. Some kid said something weird, so I did my reality check. My finger went right through my palm, and then I flew to the moon.
Real life cheat codes. If you're at a restaurant and you're enjoying the food and the service, ask to speak to a manager and compliment the food and the service. It'll make them feel good, and you might just get a free appetizer. Instead of apologizing, say thank you. For example, the next time you show up somewhere late, whether it be class or work, instead of saying sorry I'm late, say thank you for your patience. And last but not least, if you tuck a chicken's head under its wing and wave it in a circle, it'll immediately fall asleep.
Kevin from Home Alone grew up to be Jigsaw. Hear me out. In the movie Home Alone, Kevin discovered a talent of creating booby traps to stop the burglars that are after him. Well, what about this? He grew up to be this man right here. Both Kevin and Jigsaw received joy from causing pain. Did his skills of making booby traps lead to elaborate, sinister death games? Maybe. Also, check this out. In Home Alone 2, Kevin is terrified of the furnace. In Saw, a furnace is one of his death traps. Is this his way of conquering his fear? Also, this is Kevin's basement in Home Alone, and this is a location in Saw. Look a little similar. And last but certainly not least, this is Kevin, and this is Jigsaw. I can see it.
The most entertaining app I've used in a while. It's called Snacks, and it's basically blockbuster quality short movies that you watch and get involved in. You make your own choices. Like for example this one. Should she shoot or drop the gun? There's all kinds of puzzles and some scenes where you can literally write whatever you want the characters to do. All the content is 100% original and it's super freaking fun. So download it right now.
Most Dangerous Toys of All Time, Part 26. This is a hoverboard, and I'm sure most of you remember the deal with these. In 2015, over 100,000 hoverboards had to be recalled because they would randomly start on fire or explode. Okay, we know, but exactly how dangerous was this? Well, the reports show over 250 fire-related incidents and 2 deaths.
Genius student outsmarts his teacher. When he was in 7th grade, there was a giant paper that was due, and he didn't do it. He obviously got a 0 on the assignment. Well, 2 weeks after the paper was originally due, he finished it. He printed the paper out, kind of crinkled it up a little bit, and stepped on it so that there was a shoe print on the paper. Then he took it to school, and when the teacher wasn't looking, he slipped that paper somewhere under her desk. Well, fast forward a couple days, and this teacher found that wrinkled up shoe print paper from that student. She then made an announcement in class and apologized to the student. She said, "I must have lost your paper, but I found it under my desk." He then got an A. Genius. Black markets kids ran in their schools. At one middle school, whenever somebody had a roll of Smarties, they would crush it up and pretend to smoke it. Because when the Smarties are crushed up, the powder blows out and it looks like smoke. Well, this kid had an idea. He went to the store and he bought packs and packs of Smarties. He brought it to school with a wooden hammer in his backpack as well. And he would sell them to students for $1 each. People would give him $1, he would pull out the Smarties, smash it with his hammer, and give it to them. When I say business was booming, I mean business was booming. Until pretty much the whole school was inhaling and exhaling Smartie dust in the hallways. The teachers didn't like it, and they banned Smarties altogether. Overall, this kid made around $300. It started as a joke. A single piece of gum stuck to the wall behind the gym bleachers, hidden, tucked away. Well, one kid started adding to it. Then, as a joke, he told his friends,
"Yo guys, donate your gum. We're building something behind the bleachers."
And every day after lunch, more and more pieces were being added to this gum blob. By October, it was the size of a shoebox. By December, it was this giant glob of pink, gray, orange, and blue colors. And it was giving off this strange but fruity smell. Kids would swing by and salute this gum blob every day after gym. It was this fun thing that everyone was kind of involved in. One day, the janitor warned him,
"Hey listen, I see this abomination behind the bleachers. You better clean this up."
No.
After the threat from the janitor, he knew that time was running out, so him and his friends tried to add as much as they possibly could to it. And then, one day, he goes back there, and he sees 3 of the janitors scraping this gum blob away, and he was sad. But then, he got a great idea. He went into the garbage, where that gum was now sitting, and he cut off little pieces, and put them into Ziploc bags. He put 10 pieces of this gum blob into different bags, and he sold them. Limited edition relics. And the crazy part is, the people that were actually involved in this bought them. I guess they wanted a keepsake, a memory. He sold those chewed bag pieces for $4 each. Honestly, hey, you gotta respect the hustle.
What not to order from fast food restaurants. First, we have the steak sandwich from Subway. An employee revealed this is basically a frozen meat log that they tear apart with their hands, and it's not 100% steak. Next, we have the McRib that everyone seems to love. This is basically a ground pork patty that has been reconstructed to look like ribs. I don't get the hype, and I would not order one. And fountain drinks. Most times when a drink is out of order, it's because it is clogged with sugary mold. I've worked at many restaurants, and this is absolutely true. These machines are very rarely cleaned. Follow for more. People's stories of simulation glitches. This person remembers a girl from his school dying in a car accident because she was texting and driving. His sister and his sister's friends went to the funeral, and it was a very sad and big deal when it happened. Now fast forward 10 years. He always tells his fiancée this story because he's trying to convince her not to text and drive. So she knows this girl's name by heart. One day she was on Facebook and called him over and said, "Hey, isn't this the girl that died in the car accident?" Turns out it was. She was married to an old friend of his from high school, and nobody remembers the car accident. Follow for more. Asking restaurant workers to write a confession on my delivery order, part 8. I just placed an order at Taco Bell. It was an Uber Eats order, and I said, "Can you please have someone write a confession or a secret on a piece of paper and put it in my food bag, please? It's for a video." Taco Bell's the spot. I'm hoping they do it. It's on the way, about 2 minutes. All right, see ya. To the kitchen. That's my name. Sealed for me. Oh my God, my confession is I secretly cheat on my boyfriend with girls. Once it was his own cousin. As guilty as I feel, I stay with him because I'm going to a baby, then leave him and live the lesbian life I really want. XOXO. This is the juiciest one yet. Live your best life. Follow for more. Movie scenes that didn't use special effects, part 1. Remember the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire? And the scene in the lunchroom when Mary Jane tripped and Peter's powers kicked in, and he caught her and caught all of her food in the lunch tray. This scene right here. You might have thought they had to have used special effects, but they didn't. They told Tobey he had to do this for real, and he did, after 156 takes. Now watch it again after knowing this information.
Reflexes.
Teachers who definitely shouldn't be teaching. One day in elementary school, this kid who used a hearing aid was sitting in class, and this is what happened. So what do you guys think? Who has an answer? Jackson, how about you? I'm sorry. Oh, what was the question again? How are you gonna have a hearing aid and still not listen to me when I talk? I don't know, I just didn't hear the question, I'm sorry. Well, since you're not listening to me anyways, I'm just gonna take this, okay? Please don't, I can't hear without it. You can have this back when you learn to listen. Hey, yo, Jackson, you good, man? Jackson? Kyle, he can't hear you. Weird things people used to do for fun back in the day. In the 1930s, people used to go to premature baby exhibits, meaning the hospital would put babies that were born too early on display for public to pay and see. It sounds a little messed up, But this actually helped save babies' lives. Because it was the 50s, they didn't have a lot of resources to help these premature babies. But the money they raised from these exhibits helped them buy a bunch of modern equipment. Times parents really messed up Elf on the Shelf. I'm sure this is counting down the days till Christmas, but it seems incredibly sinister. If I saw that as a kid, I would soil my pants. They put the elves in the oven to make a very cute scene, but then somebody accidentally turned it on, and this is what happened. Oh no. They tried to have this elf make snow angels in red sugar, but it came out looking like a crime scene. Uh-oh. This elf was supposed to seem like it was coming down the chimney like Santa. One of the parents forgot it was in there and turned the fireplace on. Oops. Exposing Carnival Games, Part 12. I've already said that this game is rigged. However, if you do want to win, throw the ball with some backspin, and with some skill, it shouldn't bounce off, it'll just slide right in. Ring toss is also rigged. But if you throw the rings like a frisbee and throw them low, it should hook a bottle, or it'll bounce off one and land into another one. You got this. Follow for more secrets.
Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals, Part 2. I'm not speaking for every single carnival. This is just my experience. Let's begin. So sometimes very highly skilled people come and play the games, and they absolutely crush it. They're winning every time, taking all the prizes, and wiping us clean. Well, where I worked, we had a few of those people who would get their pictures from the security footage and hang it in the back. They were banned from playing games, and if we ever saw them, we had to ask them to leave. Carnival couldn't fool them, so they weren't allowed to play.
Most dangerous toys of all time. This is Flubber, and Hasbro released it in the 1960s. But immediately there were thousands of reports of kids getting rashes, skin burns, and sore throats. They immediately recalled it and stopped making Flubber forever. But legend has it that because they couldn't burn it or sink it at sea, they buried all the remaining Flubber behind a warehouse that's still there to this day. Somebody should go find it. Sometimes teachers suck. The person that shared this story said that when she was in high school, she was one of the best art students in the school. Well, one of the assignments was that they had to design something on the computer and email it to the teacher. Well, one day in a different class, she was called down to the office.
Kayla Anderson, please come to the principal's office.
In the office was her principal, Kayla, have a seat, and her art teacher.
Hi, Kayla. Hi, what's going on? Well, I got your homework that you emailed, the graphic design project. Something was off, so I ran it in a reverse Google search.
Yes, and don't even try to deny this. We caught you red-handed.
But that's impossible. I made that myself. Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. Well, how come I found it on a random artist website? What is the website? Not like it matters. Read me the website. Okay, whatever. You plagiarized your project from KaylaJohnsonArt.com. Yeah. That's my website, you
Weirdest Toys of All Time Part 2. This one that I'm about to show you is strange. It comes with 2 plush figurines. One of them is a droplet of urine, and the other one is a pile of feces. Ayo, pee-pee poo-poo check.
The school store only opened on Fridays. Why is it closed 4 days a week? Budget. Convenience. Whenever somebody asked, they basically just told him to shut up. Well, this kid had a genius idea. He went to Costco, like most of my stories begin, and he bought a bunch of stuff. Everything that the school store sold. But he bought them in bulk, and he brought it to school. And he began running a school store out of his locker every single day. Chips, candy, drinks, the exact same brands as the school. Bro, how do you have all that? Costco. And his locker was in the band hallway, so it was separate from all the regular kids, if you will. And hey, that's not an insult. I was a band kid myself. But he sold these items for cheaper than what the school sold them for. And business immediately began booming. The band hallway was bumping every day. People were lining up, just hanging out around him. He had a very strict discretion rule where keep us in the DL. If you snitch, I'm gonna have my buddy hunt you down and beat you up. And I'll do it too. And he would do it too. But the thing is, nobody snitched. This kid's moving volume. That first week was legendary. Well, Friday hits and the school opens up their store, but nobody's there. There's no line, there's nobody waiting, nothing. The lady running it's like, what is happening? And it stayed like that for a while. Eventually, an investigation was launched and the principal called this kid into the office. You've been running an unauthorized business. No, it's free market competition. You're undercutting school pricing. With respect, sir, you guys were overcharging and I'm providing students with actual affordable value. But you can't sell food on campus. Then why can't the school? Because we have these safe, good brands. I had the same brands bought from Costco. He gave the kid attention that day, but the kid didn't stop. He kept his business moving. It was this battle between the school and this kid. Eventually, the school got tired of this and they decided to lower the school prices to 10 cents cheaper than the prices this kid was selling at. Well, the kid was happy. I'm retiring.
he retires. A freaking hallway legend. He was the guy that made the school lower their prices, and the school even opened up from Wednesday to Friday now. And to that, my friends, I say, you gotta respect the hustle.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. Another follower submission. He goes to a boarding school, and every night staff members would walk around and collect everybody's phone, and then they would get it back in the morning. Well, this guy had an idea. One day he was browsing Amazon when he came across this. He found out you could buy fake iPhones. They look and feel real. So he bought one for 20 bucks and rented it out for $2 a night. They would then give the fake phone to the staff members so they can keep their real phones at night. It was booming. He then bought a bunch more. He was renting out 10 of these fake iPhones a night. Well, he made around $2,500 before the teachers caught him. They took away all the fake phones, and he was suspended.
Jobs that don't exist anymore. A lector. Lectors were hired to read to large rooms of factory workers as they worked their days away. They were sometimes even hired by the workers themselves because they wanted entertainment so bad. Nowadays, people just listen to the radio. Pin setters. Pin setters were usually young boys working for cheap, and all they would do was reset bowling pins after a bowling ball hit them. Today, bowling alleys just use machines, obviously. A knocker-upper. And no, it's not what it sounds like. These people were hired to make sure others woke up for their jobs on time. They would use long sticks, rocks, and clubs to knock on their windows to wake them up. This job didn't pay well at all, and it was usually done by people who were incredibly desperate for money. And lastly, lamplighters. These guys used long poles or ladders to light, douse, and refuel street lamps. Oh, how times have changed.
Craziest things found in fast food. In 2005, a woman from Las Vegas was at a Wendy's and she ordered some chili. She was sitting down to eat it and then she began to freak out. What happened was she went for a spoonful of chili and pulled up a severed human finger. The manager heard the screaming, went over, saw the finger, went to the kitchen and realized none of the employees had lost a finger. What happened was, the finger belonged to a man that lost it in a work accident. He then gave the finger to this lady's husband, and this lady and her husband cooked the finger and put it in the chili themselves. It was a part of their plan to sue Wendy's. They both went to jail. Worst toy designs of all time, part 20. This one's not really a toy, it's a bounce house. A Pikachu bounce house. And honestly, I have no words. I have no idea who did this or why the hell they thought it was okay. The entire thing is just sus. See for yourself. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals. The games are frickin' rigged. And I don't mean they just make them hard to win. I mean some of them are impossible to win. Where I used to work, we had a game just like this one, where we were showing a bunch of big prizes you could possibly win, but the game was unwinnable. At my old job, we would get fired if we gave away a big prize. Sometimes the carnival game workers will show you how to play before you spend your money, but the tools they use to play the game are not the same ones you use when you play. They're trying to make it look easy, but in reality, you're about to waste your money. Some carnivals actually hire people to walk around carrying a big prize. It's advertisement. People see it and they want to win one, so they head over to the games and spend their money.
The worst teachers of all time. When this girl was in middle school, she had a history teacher that she couldn't stand. He knew she didn't like him, and she became his favorite target. Well, she came to class one day, and the history teacher told everyone that they were gonna watch a movie and do a worksheet on the movie. And he said if anybody fell asleep, he would turn the movie off and they would do the worksheet by themselves. Well, the movie starts and this girl's taking notes, doing her worksheet, when he slams his hands on the desk and says, "Caitlin, I specifically said no sleeping during this movie." I'm not sleeping, I'm literally doing my worksheet. Oh, come on, don't lie to me. You were sleeping and I saw you. Mr. Griffin, she seriously wasn't sleeping. I've been sitting next to her all class and she's been doing her work. You know what? Both of you to the office right now. Sleeping in class, talking back to me. Get the frick out of my classroom. She confronted him the next day, asked why he hated her so much. He said, "I don't hate you. I'm just trying to prepare you for the real world." Well, fast forward about 10 years, and this girl saw Mr. Griffin on the news for being a pedophile. Most dangerous toys of all time. These are water beads. Colorful beads that when you put into water, they grow up to 200 times their size. Seems fun, but it's very bad news for any kids that want to eat them. There have been reports of kids eating these, and these balls growing inside their intestines, blocking it, and then needing surgery. Some brands were recalled in 2012, but mostly they're still sold today.
Exposing carnival games, part 16. You know when you're at a carnival and you see someone walking around with the big stuffed animal prize and you say, "I want to win that"? Well, sometimes those are employees paid to carry around the stuffed animals, like advertisement. I had to do it once at my old job. It's a way to bring people in to spend money on the games. And most times, you don't even win one of these. Follow for more secrets.
Most dangerous toys of all time. These are snap bracelets. They were a popular trend in the 90s. So popular, in fact, that companies started making knockoff versions of these bracelets. And the knockoff versions were made so cheap, they would slice right through a person's arm.
Worst things fast food employees have ever done, part 2. You might know this picture. Burger King foot lettuce. But the story behind it is actually incredible. An employee at a Burger King in Ohio posted this picture anonymously on the internet. But within 15 minutes, 4chan users found his location by using the GPS on the photo. They then notified his managers, and they responded. Him and 2 others were fired, and the foot lettuce was thrown away.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. He is currently in 8th grade, and he started his business by selling normal things like Skittles, M&Ms, cotton candy, Kool-Aid, and he was selling them for a couple dollars each, but nobody was buying them. They said that they can go to Walmart and buy it for much cheaper. So this is what he did. He went to a store that sold Chinese snacks, and he bought a bunch of stuff. When he took these to school, everybody wanted them because nobody knew where to get them. And you definitely can't get them at Walmart. Business was booming, and in 1 month he made about $400. No one has snitched yet, and he plans to keep this business going.
The real reason the Dursleys treated Harry Potter so bad. This one makes a lot of sense. We see our little buddy Harry being treated terribly by these people. Poor little guy. And I wonder why. Well, he's a Horcrux. We know that a Horcrux affects the person that possesses it negatively. You might ask, well, why didn't Ron treat him like crap? They spent a lot of time together. Well, like I said, the Horcrux affects the person that possesses it negatively. Ron never possessed Harry. The Dursleys were his legal guardians. Therefore, he was in their possession. You tell me, was it because of the Horcrux? Or are they just terrible people?
Oh, I gotta go to school.
Take me.
Okay. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. I'm catching the bus. Good morning, class. I am back, as you can see. I wanted to say thank you all for the get well cards. I am doing great. It was just a broken arm. Marissa, what is that? It's a pineapple. It's my lunch. No. Get the heck out of my classroom right now. Go sit in the hallway. What are you talking? I am not doing this again. Go sit in the hallway. I'm gonna go talk to the principal. I'll be right back. Marissa? Greg, hi. Where did you get that? This is gonna sound crazy, but it just appeared. It just appeared? Okay, grab it and follow me. Mrs. Greenwood, I don't think you're ready to be back at school yet. No, my arm is fine. I'm not talking about your arm, I'm talking about your mind. You are not mentally fit. You don't understand. You think a pineapple is trying to kill you. You can just take a seat anywhere. What is this place? It's the old custodian closet. Nobody comes in here, you're fine. Hey Marissa. What's up, Marissa? Hey Kyle, hey Billy. You guys, what is going on? Look. You have one too? I don't exactly know what's going on, but it appeared for me too. These pineapples are special. But right now, there is something that we have to stop. You guys, Marissa was chosen just like us, and Mrs. Greenwood is back today, and she kicked her out of her room. And now she's talking to the principal, so we have to do something. What can she even do, though? I don't know, but she needs to go. It's not right to keep hurting her. We don't have to hurt her, but we can influence a decision. After me. Pineapple, pineapple, we love you, pineapple. Pineapple, pineapple, we love you, pineapple. And now we wait. You're right, I'm sorry. I've had a long week. It's okay, I totally understand. Alright, I will see. What the heck? You are fired! Get out of my school! It's done. Let's talk about what's next. People who were legends in their high school. The wrestling team at this one high school would hang out in the bathrooms every day during lunch. Hey man, great practice today. Hey, you too, bro. You wrecked Johnny in that last match. But every day there was also another kid that would hang out in the bathroom during lunch. And all he did in the bathroom was eat his lunch in there. The wrestling team started to befriend this kid. The team liked him. Well, one day the wrestling team was at the movies. They were seeing Superbad. When the character McLovin first appeared on the scene, this is what happened. Yo, bro. McLovin looks just like Kyle from the bathroom. And the next day, when the team saw this kid in the hallway, hey, what's up, McLovin? I'll see you during lunch. McLovin, I like it. The nickname McLovin caught on. Hey, McLovin, what up, man?
Hey, what's good, McLovin?
Hi, McLovin. And when this kid was a senior, they were announcing the prom king. And this year's prom king is McLovin. How to lucid dream. A lucid dream is a dream in which you know you are dreaming and you can do whatever you want in that dream. It starts off just like any normal dream. Once you become aware that this world is not real and that you are in fact in a dream, the possibilities become endless. One of the first and most basic steps of learning how to lucid dream is to write down your dreams every night. Whatever you remember, even if it's just a small fragment. This will improve your dream recall. The next one is to do reality checks. Throughout your day, set alarms or reminders to take a second to question your reality. Like right now. Am I in a dream? Let's try to put my finger through my hand. It didn't go through, so I'm pretty sure I'm not dreaming, but there have been times where I did this, and my finger went through, and I realized I was dreaming, and then I had lunch with Adam Sandler. These are just the basic steps, but this app called YoruX has helped many people lucid dream. If you want it, go here, then here, then here to get it.
Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 22. This one was sent to me by a follower. In high school, he was on the yearbook team. That meant he had a yearbook pass, which allowed him to roam the schools and leave school grounds during his yearbook period. And that period was right before lunch. So every day he took food orders for more than 20 students. He would go pick up the food, bring it back to school, and charge them the cost of the order plus $2. It wasn't much, but he was making a couple $100s a month. The best part is the security guard caught on to what he was doing, and he had to pay the security guard a small fee to stay quiet.
Ways grocery stores trick you into buying things, part 4. Shopping carts were already designed to hold a lot of food. But some years ago they did a test. If they made them bigger, would the customers buy more food? And yes, they found that 40% of the test subjects spent much more money. The music. It has been proven that the music played at a grocery store keeps customers there longer, keeps them happy and bopping while they're shopping, therefore spending more money. Follow for more.
Crazy things kids did in school. A follower submission. This kid's friend was going to get a haircut, but his mom took him to a pretty shady barber. And well, the barber messed up his hair pretty bad. Here's a picture. Well, this guy decided that he was going to fix his hair for him. So he brought some clippers into school and they were going to go to the bathroom to shave all of his hair off. But a teacher walked in, so that plan was ruined. They then said screw it. They went into the cafeteria and started buzzing his head right there. They got pretty far, but a teacher came up and obviously shut it down. They were all sent to the principal's office, but the principal thought it was funny, so they each got one lunch detention. Not bad.
Most dangerous toys of all time, part 9. This is a bouncy house, and these things cause more injuries than you might think. About 17,000 people a year are injured while playing on a bouncy house, mostly from just bumping into each other. But there are some reports of these things not being staked down properly, and a heavy wind comes and sends this flying through the air with kids still in it. Suspicious candy, part 1. Mome candy is a sweet candy from the Haribo company. Apparently a lot of people like it. However, it's received backlash in the past due to the packaging on the candy. Some people saying it's very inappropriate. I kind of agree. Have a look.
My favorite comebacks. Let's just dive right in. No, bro, no, you're so wrong. Mr. Beast is definitely packing. You want to know someone who's definitely not packing? Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Yes, Chad? I bet yours is the size of a Tic Tac. Oh, is that right? Yeah, dude. Oh, so that's why your mom's breath is always minty fresh. You take that back, bro. You take that back right now.
Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. Alright, so this one really isn't a black market, but it's pretty interesting, so listen up. When this kid was in 6th grade, he drew $1 on a piece of paper and named it after himself. He wrote Bill Bucks on the dollar. And then, again, as a joke, he gave it to his friend. Fast forward a couple days, and his friend makes hundreds of copies of these Bill Bucks and gives it back to Bill. They both laugh. It's a funny joke. And then he forgets all the copies on his desk and leaves class. A couple of weeks go by and he completely forgot about this situation. Until one day, he's walking down the hallway and he sees a kid buying something from another kid using his Bill Bucks. Apparently, Bill Bucks became an actual currency at this school. Kids were using them to buy stuff or sell stuff to get more Bill Bucks. Teachers even thought it was cute. So they started letting kids use Bill Bucks to buy school supplies from their classrooms. He told me he went from nobody knowing him to being the most popular kid in school, just by accident.
Crazy things teachers did. This teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, "Anyone want to put a staple in my hand?" The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care. Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, "Yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand." That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, "Do it." The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class. You want a basic charge or fast? Let's do fast. I need it juiced up by next period. This kid figured out that everyone in his school always had super low battery on their phones. Teachers wouldn't let you charge your phone in class, and half of the outlets were blocked off. By third period, everyone's walking around with like 1% battery. So one day, he shows up to school with a massive portable battery bank. He hides it inside his locker, and he builds a business. $3 for a basic cord charge, $7 for the fast cord charge, $10 for full day priority service. Each cord is labeled blue, slow, red, fast. He's got adapters for every type of phone. He's got a chart in a spiral notebook, and business was booming. People are taking him up on this charging service. He's got sticky notes in every device. This phone for lunch only. This phone charging from lunch till end of day. You know, he was very organized. By the end of this week, he's got regulars. He's got VIPs. One girl even prepaid to have her own charging slot for the entire month to use whenever she wanted to. Kid asks if he can get a charge during science. Yeah, all right, basic or fast? Oh, fast. All right, that's $7. Be right back. But then one day, 3 kids show up to his locker in between classes, and they're all huddled around it. One teacher saw this and got very suspicious. She opens it up and finds 6 phones plugged into a glowing battery brick, fast charging cords tangled like spaghetti, and a handwritten menu taped to the door of the locker. Shut down, battery confiscated, parents called. That was it. He was definitely upset, but dang. What a business. In those 2 weeks he ran this, he made over $200. All because he had a good idea and a battery brick. Gotta respect the hustle. This school is messed up. This one high school had this thing where if a student at any point had to call 911 during the school day, they had to wait to get admin approval in order to call the police. Well, one day this kid was sitting in his history class when the teacher had a full-blown heart attack. All right, students, and 911? Yeah, my teacher's having a heart attack. This kid probably saved his teacher's life, but because he didn't get approval from the school admin, he was suspended for 3 days. What? That same year, in a different class, a student had a seizure. That student fell down and cracked their skull open. It took the school 35 minutes to approve a 911 call be made. They're lucky that student is still alive.
Worst toy designs of all time, part 6. What you're about to see is an action figure set. It's Batman and Robin, and they look like they come with things they can put in their hands. But without those things in their hands, this set looks a little sus. See for yourself.
This kid started a business at school and he made absolute bank. So this kid loved spicy food. So one day he brought a bunch of spices from home, and during lunch he started putting these spices into bags of chips, just testing out different flavors. He tried it. It was good. He let his friends try it. They loved it. So the next day, a bunch of people were asking him if they could make them their own bag of these seasoned chips. So he began bringing extra chips and extra seasoning to school and selling these seasoned chip bags for $2 a piece. But baby business was booming. Demand exploded. Within a month, kids were paying $5 a bag. And he had a full operation. He would mix the spices at home, season the chips and pack them in Ziploc bags, and he would be selling them before school even started every day. And every day, he sold out. People couldn't get enough of these awesome chips. But one day, a teacher caught a group of students standing in the hallway, secretly passing around these spicy chips like it was contraband. So she shut it down, reported this to the principal, and someone gave him this kid's name. So this dude was called to the principal's office. But here's where it gets awesome. The principal thought this idea was absolutely genius. Instead of stopping him, he told the kid to turn it into a real business. The last I heard about this story was that the kid was trying to get an Instagram page started and a website. He was going to begin selling these relationships outside of just school. And I hope the best for him, because man, you gotta respect the hustle.
Alright, countries, how many times have you nuked another country? Now, we haven't done anything. Yet. What are you looking at me for? We have them prepared just in case India tries to do something. I mean, we have nuclear weapons too. We did it twice, and you never know, we might have to use it again. No.
Hi, welcome to Subway. What can I get for you? Yeah, I'm just gonna get a 6-inch teriyaki chicken just on white bread with provolone cheese. You got it. Ooh, that sounds good. Another one of those, exactly the same. Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Just one sec. Okay, pass that down. Scoop the chicken and teriyaki sauce. Oh, no, I don't want that sauce on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you wanted it exactly the same. It comes with the teriyaki sauce, the teriyaki chicken. Well, yeah, I just want the chicken. I don't want the teriyaki sauce. Okay. Why did you say you wanted the exact same thing then? I do want the same thing, I just don't want the sauce. Okay, whatever, I'm just gonna remake it. Okay, on that, I need spinach, tomatoes, pickles, a little bit more teriyaki sauce, and some ranch. Alright. Thank you very much. You are very welcome. Next, what would you like on yours? Yeah, just exactly how she got it. No, we're not doing that. What would you like on it? Okay, I guess just some lettuce, onion, and olives? Yeah, so nothing like what she wanted, just as I thought. Okay. I'll also get some of that sweet onion teriyaki on there as well. Sweet onion teriyaki? You mean the sauce that I put on it at the beginning that you said you did not want? Yeah, that one, like, a lot of it. Is there a problem? Can you just put the sauce on my sandwich, please? Do you really not see anything wrong with this? I mean, I just threw away a perfectly good sandwich that had the exact same sauce on it. I don't see why that's my problem. Can you just finish my sandwich? Yeah, sure, but, just want you to know, I hate you. I hate you, and I hope I never have to see you again. Have a nice day.
Dad, if I don't get this PS4, I'm gonna run away. Run away forever, and you'll never see me again. Okay, let's go to Best Buy. We'll get it, okay? Don't worry. Dad, if I don't get that PS4, I'm gonna run away. Forever. No, you won't. You're not gonna do anything. Nothing. Okay? Oh, yeah? Well, I took your vodka. Your whole supply. Okay, let's get that PS4. Am I gonna get that vodka back, though?
Hey, what you doing there? Oh, I'm making a cake for a coworker. Oh, okay. Well, what is it you got right there? So this is a chocolate buttercream. Ooh, yeah. Buttercream icing. No, that's way too sweet. No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's gonna it's too sweet. Okay, well, that's what they asked me to use, so that's what I'm gonna use. No, see, you gotta use a cream cheese frosting, because buttercream is it's really sweet. I wouldn't do buttercream. Okay, well, this cake isn't for you. It's for somebody else. They want buttercream, so that's what I'm gonna give them. I'm just saying, okay, like, for me, buttercream is way too sweet. I would not do buttercream. It's just, you don't even taste the cake. It's just all sugar. Once again, it's not for you. I'm not making it for you. This is for someone else. Just because you don't like buttercream doesn't mean that everybody doesn't like buttercream, okay? Whoa, okay, there's no need for attitude. I'm just trying to help you. Okay, I mean, I didn't ask for your help. Thanks, I guess, but I'm gonna do it the way that I want to do it, because this is how they asked me to do it. Alright, it's your cake. You can do it however you like, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Thank you. Whoa, that is way too much frosting on there. What are you doing? That's too much. No, it's not. It's really not. No, see, when you do a sweet frost, you only do a thin layer. You don't... Oh, that's too much. That's all it's gonna taste like is frosting. This is really not that much. I mean, this is like the standard for cake. In fact, I think I might have put 2 less. Some people really like buttercream. Oh, I wish you would just listen to me. I mean, that is too much frosting. They're not gonna like it. How would you know? It's not for you. It's for someone else. Some people like buttercream. I mean, just because you don't like something doesn't mean that it's the same for everybody else. This is a cake. Someone gave me money to make it. This is how they asked me to make it. This is how I'm gonna make it. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch me make it. It's not for you. You know what? I don't even know why I bothered to say anything, okay? I'm just trying to help, and you're giving me this attitude. So you know what? I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything anymore. If you ever need help from me, don't even bother asking, okay? I'm never helping you with anything, because all you do is you get mean, you yell, and I am sick and tired of your attitude. Now I don't want to make a fucking cake anymore. Hi, thank you for calling Subway. This is the manager speaking. How can I help you? Hi, yes, I'd like to place a catering order, please. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Just let me get my book here. How big is the catering order gonna be? Yeah, so I'm gonna need about 400 sandwiches and 3 cookie trays. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Did you want those sandwiches assorted, or did you want like specific kinds? Usually for those catering orders, we do like a mixture of ham, turkey, Italian, and you can do like cold cut combo or tuna. What would you like to do? I just want them to be all turkey on wheat. Every single one of them, all turkey. Oh, okay. All turkey on wheat. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. And about the cookies, did you want those assorted or all chocolate chip? All of them. All chocolate chip. Okay, yeah, all chocolate chip. So let me just read this back to you. So 400 sandwiches, all turkey, all chocolate chip cookies for the 3 trays. For those sandwiches, did you want veggie trays, or did you want us to just put lettuce on them, like lettuce and cheese? Like, how did you want that? Just put lettuce, tomato, and then have mayonnaise on the side. Okay, and any cheese? Just do all American cheese on all of them. Okay, I've got that down. So your total's gonna be about $715. That could change. I'll have to go over with the owner. What day will you be picking this up? What do you mean, what day? When are you planning on coming to get this? Which day? Today? Like, by lunch? Today? You want 400 sandwiches and 3 cookie trays today by lunch? It's 10:30. That only gives us an hour and a half. Okay. What's the big deal? I already spoke to the owner and he said he would do it. He told me I had to call you first. I promise you he didn't. There is absolutely no way. I don't have... For all that wheat bread and all that turkey, I mean, we have to prepare that. It's gonna take us a while. Just the bread by itself takes like 3 hours. I'd need at least 10 trays. Okay, well, he said you would do it, so what's the big deal? What's the problem? I just explained to you what the problem is. There is absolutely no way we're gonna be able to have that ready for you in an hour and a half. We'd need at least 24 hours. Okay, you know what? I'm done arguing about this. I mean, this is ridiculous. You're overreacting. I'm just gonna call the owner back. Please do, and I will probably do the same, because I'm sorry, there's absolutely no way he agreed to that, and if he did, then I don't even know what to think. But yeah, go ahead and call him. Thanks. Hey, I just heard you on the phone. You sounded kind of upset. What happened? This lady just called to place a catering order for 400 sandwiches and 3 cookie trays, and she wants it today by 12 o'clock. And she said the owner told her that we could do that? I mean, there's no way he would say that. Are you sure about that? Welcome to Subway. What can I get for you? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know what I want. Okay. Can I help you with something? Like, there's people behind you. You can't just stand there and stare at me. Like, do you want me to recommend you something? No, not really. I just don't know what I want. Okay, do you need to, like, look at the menu some more? I mean, can you step to the back of the line? Because there's, like, 6 people behind you. You can't just stand there. Why are you rushing me? Because there are people behind you and you're just staring at me. What do you want me to do? I just don't know what I want yet. Can you give me a minute? Honey, this is not the drive-thru at McDonald's. You can't just stand there and stare at nothing for 10 minutes. There's people behind you that I have to help, man. Come on. I'm here, so I'm gonna stand here and you can't make me leave. It's effing Subway. Okay, just pick a meat. Ham, turkey, chicken, steak. We got it all, man. How do you need so much time to pick a sandwich? Why don't you just know what you want when you come in? Why are you doing this to me? I hate this job.
Hi, welcome to Subway. What can I get started for you? What kind of bread do you have? We have white, wheat, cheese, or flatbread. What? White, wheat, cheese, or flatbread? No, it doesn't say that on this list here. If you were reading the list, why did you ask me? What kind of bread do you have? I mean, just read the list that you were just reading, that we have all those bread choices. Which one would you like? I have all of them. Oh my God, just tell me what kind of bread you have. White, wheat, cheese, wheat, flatbread. What would you like? Okay, so you don't have the artisan Italian. Yes, that is the white bread. It's just a fancy term for white bread. If you want to call it that, that's fine, but it's just faster to say white, wheat, or cheese. Okay, there is no reason for you to have an attitude. Can you just make my sandwich? Yes, ma'am. And I apologize if I came off as rude. I will go and grab that bread for you. While I do that, could you tell me what would you like on it? What kind of meat do you have?
Hi, welcome to the place I work at. What can I get started for you? What do you have? We have a lot of things. Many things. And if you just look behind me, you can see there's a menu that you can read that shows those things that we have. Do you have this? Yes, we have that. How much is it? Well, it depends on the size, and I mean, I don't have all the prices memorized. Like I said, you could just look at the menu and see the price. How much is it? Like $8? Depending on if you want the small one? That's ridiculous. That price is way too high. That's too expensive. Okay, so do you not want it? No, I want it, just that price is too high. Can't you make it cheaper? No, I don't own the business. I can't change the price. Well, that's just bad business. I'm never coming back. Okay. And I am going to complain about the price through the entire process of me ordering this. I will never stop complaining. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't own the business. If you are so upset about the prices, I mean, you can go to corporate. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything about the prices. So, boss, how did it go with Jonathan last night? Oh, it was terrible. I hate to admit it, but you were right about him. He's just the worst, and he's just impossible to train. I don't understand what's going through his head. Yeah, I told you, so what are we gonna do about it? Well, I just don't have enough employees to fire him, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna need you to just kind of keep an eye on him when you're working with him. Don't let him out of your sight. Don't let him take any customers. Just kind of follow him around, make sure he's not messing anything up. Are you serious? So on top of me doing literally everything, taking customers, doing all the backup, doing pretty much all of the side work, and you want me to babysit him on top of that? Alright, I don't know why you're always so dramatic about these things. He can do something wrong. He can do some things wrong. It doesn't matter what task I give him. If I'm watching him, if I'm telling him to do things a certain way, he will always do things wrong, and he takes forever. I mean, he can't even do backup steak, which is literally the easiest thing to do. All you do is open the bag and put it in the container. He doesn't even know how to do that. He's been here 3 months. I mean, how do you expect me to deal with that? I don't know. Just figure it out, okay? Just figure it out. Okay. You have a literal stack this high of applications, written applications of very good people that would probably be a way better candidate for this role. Why don't you just hire one of them? Fire Jonathan and hire literally, I don't even care which one you pick, okay? Just hire somebody. Why can't you just hire someone? Hey, you know what? This is my business, and I'm gonna run it the way I want to, because it's not your business. If you have a problem with the way I run my business, then you can just go. Fine, I quit. All right, well, go ahead and put in your 2 weeks then. I mean, you don't deserve for me to do that, but I do need money and time to find another job, so I will work 2 weeks for you. But just so you know, when I leave, I don't know what you're gonna do. Yeah, whatever. You're not as important as you think you are, okay? So you can just get the hell out of my office. Okay, fine. Bye. Hey, what happened in there? I heard a lot of yelling. Boss isn't gonna fire Jonathan, so I'm putting my 2 weeks in. Are you serious? Nobody likes working with Jonathan. He's literally the worst. And he's just gonna let you go just like that? Did he even try to convince you to stay? No, in fact, he was the one who insisted that I put 2 weeks in. He told me I can go. Are you serious? I swear, he's losing it. I mean, he's got to retire. He's been in this business for, what, 30 years now? He should realize how stupid he's being. I mean, there's maybe 3 good employees left in this store, and you're one of them, and he's just gonna tell you to go? I mean, what the hell is he thinking? Do you want me to talk to him for you? Because this is ridiculous. No, don't involve yourself, please. But I don't know what he's thinking. All I can tell you is these next couple of weeks are gonna be a real shit show, because I know as soon as I go, he is not gonna hire anybody else, and he didn't. So I recommend you also put your 2 weeks in, because catering season starts next month. I don't want to be here when that guy is here doing catering. Oh my god.
Alright, countries, how much precipitation, like rain, snow, hail, do you receive on average? Okay, so we're just making up words now? Yeah, facts, man. Rain, snow, never heard of them. What? Only 18 inches? Come on, man, that's BS. Whoa, Russia, calm down. Can somebody feel bad for me already? It always rains here. You're saying you want somebody to feel bad for you?
So this is back when I had purple hair, so just pretend I have purple hair for this. Hi, welcome to the place that I work at. What can I get started for you? Yeah, I'm sorry. How does anybody take you seriously looking like that? Excuse me? Like, no, I don't know what this is. The hair. You know, your hair, it's just very distracting. Like, why do you do that to yourself? Because I like it? I mean, why does it matter what I do to myself? It's just hair anyway. Who cares what color my hair is? I mean, it's not very professional, you know? Like, just when I walk into a place of business, I don't want to see people that ruin themselves like that. It's just hair. Like, I don't understand what... Do you want to order something? I mean, how does your mother feel about this? Because, I mean, if you were my daughter, I would be so disappointed. I mean, my mom likes it. Her favorite color is purple. Why would you bring my mother into this? This is starting to get weirdly personal. It just breaks my heart seeing young people just ruining themselves. I mean, it's just, you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to change yourself like that. What do you mean ruin? It's just hair. It's just hair. It's not gender reassignment surgery. I'm expressing myself. Like when you wear earrings or something. I mean, I like it. Let me like things. Why the hell do you care? You know, I'm just so disappointed right now. And I mean, your attitude towards this, it's just, it's not professional. It's very childish. You know, I think I'm gonna take my business somewhere else. Okay. I don't even want to say have a nice day. I hope you have a terrible day, actually. Jeez. Okay, so I've got you down for 1 foot-long steak and a bag of chips. Did you want to do a drink with that? Make it a meal? Yes, I would like a large drink, please. All right. And there's your large drink, and your total will be... Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am, you have to pay your total, ma'am? Okay, well, there's a line, so I guess I'll ring up the next person, please. Put the lid on the drink. Okay. Excuse me, I was in line. Why is this person going ahead of me? Hello? Okay, and there's your change. You have a nice day. Okay, you can come on ahead. What, you just let them cut in front of me? That's so rude. No, what is rude is you just going to get a drink before paying, which holds up the line. Like, you're supposed to pay and then get your drink. Why would you just walk away before paying? Well, you handed me the cup. That doesn't mean I want you to go get your drink right now. Whatever, the service here sucks. Just give me my total. Yeah, it's the service that's the problem. That's the problem. This is a little PSA to everybody, because this happens at least 10 times a day. There's a reason why I don't give you your cup before you pay, because it happens all the time. Right before I ring you up, you just take the cup and go fill it up, which holds up the line. Where is the common sense? I swear it should be common sense not to do that, especially if you've got people behind you. So please, when the cashier hands you your cup, wait until you pay before going to fill up your drink. Thank you.
Okay, listen, so you're gonna lose a lot of territory over here. Yeah, that's right, and you're gonna have to reduce the size of your military. You're also gonna have to pay us a lot of money. Okay, fine. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. You know what? You have to admit World War I was all your fault. Well, I guess I'll just have to win the next one. Next one? Oh, my bad.
Hi, this is Noah from the Residence Hall. I'm trying to reach Anthony, and I care why. I'm sorry? What do you want? Is this Anthony? What's it to you? Well, Anthony, I'm Noah. I'm your resident director. I'm calling out of concern for you, but also out of concern for your roommate. I have just been informed that after a fairly large dispute about what your roommate has reported to me is you wearing his clothing, you responded by destroying the entire room. And I wanted to talk to you about your thought process here and kind of just figure out what is going on. If didn't fucking do anything. Well, Anthony, all of your roommate's things are destroyed. Which would lead me to believe that something did in fact happen. He's a fucking liar, and if you believe him, I'm gonna beat your ass too. Excuse me? You heard me. Anthony, where are you at the moment? Do you even hear me? And you're speaking to me this way? You should be fucking chastising him for always being disrespectful in our room. Like, I always say that he needs to let me do what I want to do. He doesn't let me fucking do it. Anthony, and now we're going on and on and on about me trashing everything. Well, why isn't he getting in trouble for what he did, too? Anthony? No, I've had enough of this shit. Anthony? Anthony? Hi, campus police? Are you almost here? Oh. Officer seen it. That's a condom on his foot. What? Yeah, that's a condom. Are you sure, Noah? No, that's definitely a condom. Like, 100%. Boy, do you remember how you got a condom on your foot? No, it's not a condom. No, that is 100% a condom. Who put a condom on your bare foot? All right, look, kid. It probably ain't a good thing that you don't remember how you got a condom on your foot tonight, let alone a broken one. So, how's about we take this here as a learning experience? Wait a minute. Is your name Dylan? No, is his name Dylan? Yeah, it is. Do you know him? Officer seen it? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I responded to his room last year, his freshman year. Dylan, it probably ain't a good thing that the campus police recognizes you. You know? I'm sorry. EMTs are on their way, Dylan.
I really just hate to cause problems, but like I haven't been able to be in my room once since move-in without his mother here too. You know? Yeah, Matt, that's understandable. I would be frustrated too. I'm on my way up to your room. You said your roommate and his mother are there now? Yep. They're both here right now. Okay. I'm on my way. Oh my goodness. Res Life. Hi, can we help you? Hello, ma'am. Am I to assume that you're Braden's mother? Well, that depends on who's asking. Ma'am, my name is Noah. I'm the resident director here in the building. I just received a call from Braden's roommate informing you that you have been living here. Braden, honey, can you come talk to this man, please? I have way too much to do cleaning up your room for you, sweetheart. What? Hey, Noah, is there a problem? Yep, Braden, is your mother living here? Yeah, just until I get adjusted, you know? Yeah, is that not okay? Have you talked to your roommate about it? Well, no, but he hasn't said anything. Braden, your mother cannot live here. He is not ready to live without me. He's not ready yet. Okay, ma'am. Follow for a part 3.
Time for another community story. Let's go.
Hey, man, I just got out of class. You want to grab some dinner? Oh, someone's screaming my name. Hold on. Noah! Noah! I gotta go. Isabel, what's going on? Noah, my screen fell out my window. Can this wait till we're back in the hall to have this conversation? My screen fell out of my window. Okay, what happened? I just told you, the window screen that I have, it like fell out of my window last night. How? How did that happen? Well, like I had my window open last night. Okay. And I had like my standing fan like sitting on the windowsill. Okay. And my fan fell into the screen and then it fell out the window and like down into the dumpster area down the side of the building. Okay, then what did you do? Well, we tried to get it back in. I had like a rubber mallet that I used to like bunk our beds at the start of the year. So we tried to get it back into the wall and we might have made it worse. Well, I'm happy to call facilities to, like, get someone out here to get that fixed. How much worse are we talking? Well, actually, can we delay them fixing it a little bit? What do you mean? You came to me to tell me that this happened and you don't want it fixed? Well, I've been using it to, like, sneak into the room at night, and that's been really good for me to be able to, like, get in there without anybody noticing. Izzy, you live on the 3rd floor.
Alright, countries, how much money do you spend on your military? $61.9 billion. Now, if you ask me, that's a lot. Wow, Vladimir, did you know about this? We're rich. The second largest army does need a lot of military spending. Wow, talk about a margin. Don't you think we're spending too much? Not exactly sure what you're talking about. Here, put more.
Time for another community story. Let's go.
Hi, this is Noah calling from the residence hall. I'm looking for John. Yeah, this is John. What do you want? Yeah, I can imagine if I was in your shoes, I'd be confused about getting a call from me too, given it that it's a break. But I'm just calling all of the students that we did room checks for to let folks know that we found violations in the cases that we did. So you found something in my room? Well, yes. I do want to let you know that we found some stuff in your room that is going to our student conduct office, and campus police have confiscated some items out of your room as well. I was hoping now would be an okay time to have a conversation about it. The fuck you mean you took shit out of my room? Well, I did not take anything. I'm more than happy to walk through what happened if that would be helpful for you, John. Yeah, what happened? What'd you do? Well, again, I didn't do anything. This confiscation happened by campus police. But anyway, myself and my staff entered your room where we found some items. In particular, we found a mason jar that was full of an illegal substance, as well as some papers and what appeared to be like several $1,000s rolled up in little baggies and whatnot. But yeah, campus police saw everything and confiscated everything. Yeah, so if you haven't gotten a call from campus police yet, you're likely going to be getting one soon. Would you believe me that they're calling me right now? Yes, I would. They left not all that long ago. John, I'm gonna let you go and take that call, and we'll talk later about next steps, okay? Am I going to jail? To be completely honest with you, John, I don't know. I think you're gonna have to talk to campus police about that. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Give me a call back when you can, okay?
Part 21 of Telling Your Stories. This one came as a DM. Let's go.
Hi, this is the residence hall. Hi, is this Noah? Yeah, it is. Who am I speaking to? How can I help? Hey, this is, Kendra. I live in, room 110. Kendra, how can I help? Well, I wanted to see if you had any DRUGS. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I'm looking to see if you have any DRUGS that I can use. I really need some. Kendra, am I hearing you right? What do you mean? Kendra, I'm your RA. You're calling me at 4 a.m. to ask me for DRUGS? Like, yeah, I have a migraine. Kendra, are you asking me for ibuprofen? Well, yeah. Oh my god. Kendra, you cannot ask me, you can't call and ask anyone for DRUGS in the middle of the night. I thought you were asking me for illegal substances. Like, oh no, nothing like that. I'd never do anything like that. Okay. So Do you have any ibuprofen? No, I can't give you medication, Kendra. I'm not allowed to give you something like that. Well, okay. Have a good night. So don't be mad. James, did you take the fire extinguisher? So you remember, in our last one-on-one, I talked about being a film student and how we were going to be filming off campus soon? Yeah, I do remember that. Help me understand how that connects to you taking the fire extinguisher out of your dorm room. So we're filming in this like abandoned house off campus. You've probably seen it. It's like right off the highway, a little abandoned property. Yeah, the one falling apart. I don't know that is the best place to be filming. But that sounds like a different conversation. So let's go ahead. Yeah, so we've been filming in the house for my film for class, and the film equipment like gets really hot, the lights in particular, and I was really nervous about a fire, especially with the building like kind of being falling apart, but it's really fucking good for like horror movie aesthetic. Like you really have to see the film when we're finished. Like I'm really impressed with it, like it's really gonna be good, no, I swear. James, I really hate to interrupt you. I'm sure it's gonna be a really good film. I'm definitely willing to watch it and excited that you want me to. Like, that's really cool that you want me to be able to see that. And I need to get to the bottom of where the fire extinguisher is before your room because we're currently not up to code and your building is currently, like, your room is currently not safe because the fire extinguisher's gone. We left it at the house. You left the fire extinguisher at the abandoned house off the highway. Yeah? Okay, well, we're gonna replace it to make sure that your space is safe. James, you're gonna be hearing from billing about this. Crap. Yeah. Hey, this is Noah with the residence hall. I'm trying to reach Alex. This is Alex. What do you want? Hey, Alex, is now a good time to chat for a second? I mean, that depends on what you want. Honestly, that's fair. Well, I'm just in the process of calling all the students that we found, any kind of damages or just things that we have to call and ask about, after we closed for the fall. And I'm just giving you a call, given that your room was one of the rooms that was on my list for things I need to call for. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, do you have a moment to talk about it? That depends on what you're calling about. Well, actually, I just told you that I'm calling everyone in the residence hall that has damages or concerning things left behind in their room that I am calling you about. That's why I'm calling. Yeah, and I said that I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, can I tell you what we found in your room when we did our check? Sure. Okay, well, Alex, when we entered the room this morning, there was rotting food kind of everywhere and trash strewn about the room pretty haphazardly. Myself and one of my other staff members tripped when we walked into the room, but there's like rotting food and garbage all over your room. Okay? In addition, there were some burns on the windowsill, which appear to be from cigarette or cigars, and a bunch of ashes there as well. Okay? And lastly, there's what appears to be the remnants of you using the bathroom in your room and not going down the hall, like in the corner of your room. Okay? Is any of that ringing a bell? Yeah? So can you explain to me why there's rotting food, your fecal matter, and trash everywhere in your dorm room over winter break? Well, it's my room. Do you remember when we told you all that we'd be doing room inspections and that you couldn't leave this kind of thing behind for months? Yeah? Alex, help me understand here. Alex, you're getting charged for hazardous waste cleanup.
I mean, the room was empty. I didn't think it would be a big deal. Like, I just switched. I didn't like my other room. Who are you? My name is Daniel. Daniel, what room are you supposed to be in? It's like down the hall, but like, so I can't stay here? Daniel, this isn't your assigned room. Other students are already living here, or are trying to live here. You're not assigned to this space. You can't just switch rooms willy-nilly. How did you even get in here? I mean, I followed the cleaning guy. I think he was doing final checks, cleaning the rooms. So you snuck in here into this room, didn't communicate that with any staff, but assumed it would be okay? Yeah. Daniel, help me understand that one, because you just admitted that you snuck into this space. You purposely followed somebody, waited until they were leaving, and then entered the room to move in. I assume you had to prop the door to get in, to like move your stuff in. I mean, yeah, my card didn't work. And your card didn't work because you want me to say because it's not my room, don't you? Well, I don't want you to say that. I want you to understand that this is not your room. Can't I just switch? Like, can't they take my other room? Well, no, because you have a roommate in that other room, which is why I don't like it. What are you not getting? Daniel, you cannot take a double to yourself that is assigned to two other people. We are going in circles. You can either go back to your other room, or I can call campus police. Those are the options. Go back to your room, or I can call campus police. But I already moved in here. Daniel, are we taking option 2? No, I'll move. Okay. You're also going to be hearing from, like, several people about this. If I'm so honest with you, I am going to be documenting this because you violated several policies in doing this. Whatever. Okay. I'll be standing here while you move out, and then, guys, you can move in after that. Okay. Hi, this is Noah from the residence hall. I'm trying to reach Dylan. Yeah, what's up? Hey, Dylan. So I have been fielding calls all day long, from folks on Craigslist interested in buying our dorm furniture. Yeah. And I would just like to understand what's going on here, because I logged onto Craigslist and I see a post from you with your full name with our dorm furniture and several things from your own room as well. I don't know what you're talking about. And these individuals from Craigslist have been calling me and blowing up an emergency line that I need to have open in case there's a student in need all day long, and trying to buy university-owned furniture from me. Okay, you gotta admit it's a little bit funny, dude. Dylan, I don't think that my tone is coming off as finding this humorous. This has been my entire morning of dealing with people who have been trying to buy furniture that doesn't even belong to me. And I have now declined 2 calls while we've been on the phone. Dylan, I want to be very clear with you in this moment. I did talk to my supervisor before calling you, and this is fraud. What? Follow for a part 3. Residence Live. Shit. What's going on in here? What, do you want to take a dip, Noah? No, no, I don't. I'm going to be calling campus police and maintenance. Okay? Come on, it was so hot. We just wanted to swim. I'm calling maintenance and campus police. This is a violation of so many things, and you can't. You built a swimming pool in your room, like a whole giant pool. I'm calling campus police. Come on, just come take a dip and relax. It'll all get better. Hi, campus police. I have a room in the residence hall that built a swimming pool, And, it's leaking into the room below and likely soon gonna cause a much bigger problem than it currently is. Yes, I'm calling maintenance next. How do we want to do this? Do we want to be honest with campus police, or how do we want to do this? We're in trouble, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, you are.